meshes, textures, skyboxes, all with a prompt. There's also audio generation to make ambient sounds and effects. You can generate TypeScript for game mechanics. Later this month, people will be able to generate fully animated 3D avatars based on a prompt alone. Not just an image of an avatar. I'm talking a fully textured 3D mesh, fully rigged for motion. And the NPC generation system goes well beyond.
Do a quick audio check.
It generates their backstory, voice, conversation style, and dialogue. So you can create fully formed characters for your games and worlds in just a few prompts. And people react really, really well to these characters. We added them to Citadel, and the time spent in that world increased by almost 15%. So as of today, all these right pieces are in place. And next up, we're going to build an agentic creation system that orchestrates all these pieces behind the scenes. Letting you create a full, playable, multiplayer 3D world using nothing but natural language prompts. And it won't take months, won't take days.
Oh, that's
it'll take minutes.
cool. That's really cool.
Come on.
There's really been nothing like this before, so we've been training the system to be a creative collaborator. So it's learning with you about how to build great worlds and what good games look like and how to create compelling characters. We've been demoing the system for the last few days, and it's been pretty wild to watch. We've seen people with absolutely no experience in game development or building Horizon worlds able to take an existing world and turn it into something completely different. New environments, new characters, new concepts, and they can do it in minutes. Now, of course, for builders, this increased velocity means much shorter cycle time.
Okay.
So
hello to everyone who's just joined. I don't want to talk over it too much, but we're
So in the past, you might have had to make a
we're in the Meta Horizon, so Meta Connect 2025, day 2, developer Keynote.
No sound, and
going. This is
all those elements in much earlier and make a more complete decision.
Was the big boss so far?
Uptake of these
all
AI
our VR stuff
has been very, very fast among Horizon creators. Nearly 60% of eligible creators.
He's going through a lot of Horizon stuff, so I'm going to shut up now and let you watch.
3 games, new worlds in the past month had assets created by AI. Now, of course, all of this doesn't mean much if the end result isn't good enough, which is one of the biggest challenges we've constantly been fighting with in Horizon, which is why we're so focused on raising the quality bar. And that's why we had to rebuild the entire core architecture. Mark gave you a preview of this yesterday, of what this looks like. It's the new Meta Horizon engine, and it makes it possible to build much more powerful experiences as both a creator and a developer. So that's the last thing I want to talk about today, this next-generation Meta Horizon engine that is fully optimized for bringing the metaverse to life. Now, the first thing you'll notice is a big step up in visual quality. It's based on a scriptable render pipeline that opens the door to new visual styles and effects. You get industry standards like physically based rendering materials and light maps. Oh, yes. Light maps. Big. All right. Respect. Respect.
Light maps.
Wait till I tell you about the source control. Oh, my
We love
goodness.
light maps.
It unlocks much more complex genres of worlds like simulation and RPGs, and it enables photorealistic hyperscape spaces that Mark showed yesterday. There's now support for fundamental development features like source control. See?
Oh, that's what they meant.
That's called a callback. Okay. Here's our new immersive home. One of the first features that you're going to see powered by this, and you will notice a little preview of our spatial UI navigation that we're working on. The UI is actually still a work in progress, but the new home is already rolling out to the public testing channel, and so far the early feedback has been really, really good, especially on personalization. You can customize your VR home with persistent app windows that stay anchored wherever you want them, so you can leave your web browser on your table and put a giant Instagram panel on your wall. Of course, you get all the same Instagram that you know and love.
Cool.
But
That's
we
all
turn
in 3D.
everything into 3D.
You
really notice the difference when you change environments. So there's this beautiful transition in lighting and colors. You're not just getting a different skybox. It's a whole living, breathing environment all around you. So this new home is designed to be a much better place for hanging out with friends. Soon you'll be able to invite people over, watch a movie, or play games together. And if you're looking for a bigger crowd, the Horizon engine supports much higher numbers of concurrent users, well over 100 in a single space.
Finally! Oh my God, that's
so public spaces like the new Horizon Central feel much more alive, and this concurrency boost applies to every world people build, which opens the door to massively multiplayer experiences. And you'll see this right away in the crowds that you can see in the new arena. You can jump straight there from Central for a concert, and this is another place where the new engine makes a big difference. Load times and travel times are now much faster. When you combine this with the new AI builder tools, this is a game changer for people building for the metaverse. We've put all these creative tools in the new Meta Horizon Studio, and if you want to be among the first to try it out, you can apply for the beta today.
It just happens like one day you'll turn on your head, so you'll be like, oh, this is different. That's really funny.
Yeah.
So with Horizon Studio lowering the barriers to entry and the new Horizon engine raising the ceiling of what's possible, there is opportunity for everyone. And that certainly includes our developers. You can quickly build fun, accessible games that look and work great across mobile and VR, and reach a massive audience using our social apps for distribution.
Really?
And as the Horizon engine expands the kind of gameplay it can deliver, I think a lot more developers are going to have opportunities to build serious businesses there. Every developer here today knows the most important thing we can do
Only one way to
is
find
grow
out.
the ecosystem. Bringing more people in, making them lifelong VR superfans. Once they are here, then your work can find the audience it deserves. So for more on that, Sam is going to talk about new ways for developers to create real businesses on the platform. She's going to dive into the new experiences that are taking off as our audience expands and the biggest opportunities to build for them. So let's get into it. Here's Sam.
Thank you, Boz. This is a unique moment in the history of our industry. I have been in the gaming business. Seeing your work touch people's lives, it makes it all worthwhile. It's a deeply personal connection that you're forming with your unique audience.
Oh.
And today, that connection is harder to build. There's been an industry slowdown in gaming, and VR has been evolving in new ways. Our consumer base today is more diverse than ever before, and it has really
By the way,
different needs.
if anyone's wondering why
This
we're
has
all
been
sat in
tough
VR
to
chat
navigate,
watching this,
and frankly,
it's because not
we at
everyone has
Meta
access
had
to the new
a lot
theatre
to
just
learn
yet.
as well.
Phil.
But
We
there's
can
also
stream this
amazing
into the White
success.
Lotus
I've been
in
so
VR chat.
inspired
So here
by
we
the
are.
developers who are still innovating and finding real financial success like these. When I hear a story of a team who's building something great, I want to celebrate it with everyone who will listen. So I thought I'd start off today with one of those stories. Golf Plus is a developer I've followed closely as the platform has evolved. They've done a great job navigating change. Yes, they're awesome. And they have a really interesting perspective on how developers can thrive on a platform that is always changing. Instead of listening to me tell the story, let's hear it directly from them. Here's Ryan Engel from Golf Plus to share a little bit more.
For anyone who's just joined, this is the day to develop a keynote. This is the probably slightly more interesting day for those of you who are invested in
Thanks, Sam.
VR. And that's what we said.
When I spend time with other VR developers, we often ask ourselves a fundamental question. Should we be building for the existing VR market? Or should we create something that brings entirely new people into VR for the first time? At Golf Plus, this was a challenge from day one. We wanted to build a golf experience, but we kept hearing the same thing. Golf is too niche, and we should build something with broader appeal. So we took that advice, and we started with Pro Putt, a casual putting game that we launched in 2020. It was going pretty well when we decided to survey our users to learn more about who was playing. And what we discovered was surprising. About half of our new users were real-life golfers, and more importantly, they were the ones who kept coming back. That insight pushed us to make a decision that, frankly, a lot of people told us not to make. In 2021, we rebranded to Golf Plus, and we went all in on full swing realistic golf. On paper, it didn't make sense. The VR audience skewed gamer, not golfer, and golf looked like a niche within a niche. But sometimes you have to ignore the safe play. Take a risk and bet on the thing that you believe in most. And for us, that was golf. And once we did, everything changed. Now, the vast majority of our players are golfers. And about a third of our new users buy a Quest just to play Golf Plus. They're not buying it for VR.
Wow.
They're buying it to play more golf. There are millions of people who already love golf, or they always wanted to learn how to play. But it's expensive, time-consuming, and it's intimidating. With VR, golf suddenly became accessible. And because the hardware is so affordable and convenient, the ability to play every day is 10 times easier than playing in real life. Today, more rounds are played in Golf Plus every single day
That's brilliant.
than an average golf course
there's
sees
someone out there
in
who
an
actually does
entire
them.
year.
I'm sure they've got like.
And in the last 4
better
years,
connect
players have hit
tennis
about 4 billion
rackets
shots
and things like
in
that as
over
well.
150 different countries, even
Yeah.
in places that don't have a physical golf course at all.
I suspect they've
So
knocked over
we're
more than
spreading
a
the
few
love of
pints
golf
of beer as well, you know.
All around the world, which is our core mission, and we're using VR to do it. Thank you. That brings me to 3 lessons that we learned along the way that I want to share with you guys. First, find your niche. We realized our job wasn't to capture every VR gamer. It was to make the best possible experience we could for golfers. And when we did that, golfers loved it. They told their friends, word spread, and now the majority of our growth comes from golfers telling their golf
You're probably like,
buddies.
hey, bro, did you know
Second,
I can, like, totally golf
think
much harder in my
long-term.
living room? We should all,
If
like,
we had tried to
golf
chase
together.
VR trends, we'd still be making a casual golf experience, hoping to appeal to the masses. Instead, we leaned into golfers, and that led to partnerships with the PGA Tour, the PGA of America, and dozens of the most famous golf courses and brands. This unlocked rich new content, and it has helped build credibility within the entire golf community. Thanks to our partnerships with the Tour, our players can now watch a real tournament on TV and then play the same course head-to-head against their favorite pros. That feature wouldn't matter that much to the average gamer, but golfers love it. It keeps them coming back week after
Whereas
week,
I never
and
even
it's
say
opened the
golf.
door
It's like,
to
how
new
could you,
recurring
like,
revenue
sit
models.
there and whack a tiny ball with, like, a
Lastly,
big stick? And,
Know your customer.
like,
We
actually get
survey
it to go where you want it to go.
100%
That's
of
nuts.
new players to understand why they came to us and what they're looking for. That knowledge has helped us prioritize the right features and has led to 40% more time in-game this year alone. But the most powerful insights come from our community. Many of them are frequent golfers who combine their time on course with time in VR. But some of them are people who love golf
This is making
but
me
would
wanna
be
go play
unable
golf.
to play in any other way.
Hi.
Like Anne,
Clyde up to chill.
a 57-year-old who was diagnosed with stage
I have got a
4
live stream
cancer.
going, but I think you're probably
She
aware
played
of
Golf
that
Plus
because I
throughout
think you're
her
on the
recovery
Instagram one.
as a way to get on her
Fair,
feet
but
every
welcome.
day.
Come here,
I
so
saw your
comfortable.
Instagram.
Or Brady, a 13-year-old from Florida who can't spend hours in the sun because of a rare skin condition. Next week, he'll tee it up at Bethpage Black in Golf Plus, the same course where his hero, Bryson DeChambeau, is playing for Team USA at the Ryder Cup.
Amazing.
These stories remind us that what we're building is so much more than just a game, and that VR is capable of transforming people's lives. So remember, find your niche,
Yeah,
think long-term,
true words.
and know your customer. That's how we're going to keep growing the VR market, one passionate niche at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. I
heard
really
a
love that
ding-a-ling.
last point.
2
I
seconds.
often tell developers in meetings that the most important person
No,
in the
2
room
seconds.
is actually never there. Our product decisions need to be guided by the people that we're designing for. And once those products come to life, we have to build a connection to the customer. As our platform has grown and our audience has diversified, the traditional
My
store
stream
promotion
chat's broken.
systems built to create these connections, they're
keep
just
track.
not sufficient. The most successful
like,
developers on our
oh,
platform
your
today
headset's
are heavily
gonna die.
invested in creating
And then
and
it did,
maintaining
and it
a
didn't even
strong
warn me.
community of fans. And of course, as the operators of the platform, we have a responsibility to help developers find their audience. We've heard your feedback on the places that we need to do better.
Have you
One
the
place I
meta
hope hope you'll see improvement is in better platform insights on our developer blog. In the last few months, we've published detailed reports on how app discovery actually works. And there's a new series of articles on monetization, on retention, and the ideal session length. There's a lot more to be done on the discovery front, too. We've made a lot of investments here over the last year, and the fruits of that work are beginning to show. We've redesigned the Horizon feed so people in VR now get personalized app recommendations, and we see more promotional units. That helps them discover new apps. The mobile feed also got a redesign with a simpler structure that encourages richer discovery. There's live video previews, trailers, and better creator attribution. We've also overhauled search surfaces in mobile and VR to improve discovery. Before people enter a search term, they'll see a list of trending searches, categories, and shelves that are a lot more relevant to them.
Yeah, but do videos
and in
the
the
Lotus.
store,
I
there's now more places where your apps can be promoted. Now, there's a lot more to come here, and I hope you'll join us today for our developer sessions. Another thing I think you'll love is the upcoming targeted re-engagement tool. This helps get specific user cohorts with messaging, discounts, or promo codes. You can use in-app or in-store notifications, and this will increase your efficiency and your conversion rate of your offers. So, for example, you could give maybe a 50% discount to your top spenders, maybe those folks that haven't purchased an in-app item in the past 14 days.
Hi, Teresa. I'm running a live stream at the moment, just for info. Down. People can see me in the camera. They can hear anything down here. How are you anyway? You okay?
Community of customers, and you can have more people discover your work.
Hello.
Yeah,
the Meta Horizon Plus subscription bundle is also helping introduce new people to new games and drive more revenue for developers. 67 apps from developers participated in Meta Horizon Plus over the past year.
When it started off, it didn't seem like a good idea, but there's what's in it now, and it's cheap as anything.
It's pretty good. Synth Riders, they were added to the gaming catalog about a year ago. Pretty cool, and they have seen 60% growth in revenue. Now, we are going to expand Meta Horizon Plus to over 100 titles by the spring of 2026. We've also talked a lot this year about how the Quest 3S has brought new audiences into VR, like teens and young adults. And they're driving some really interesting new trends across the platform. Now, you see this most clearly in the class of accessible social games that are easy to jump into with friends. So we have our amazing stalwart, like a gorilla tag, and it is still going strong. But there's also been new success stories, like Animal Company, which has over 1 million monthly active users. Now, they've 9x'd their paying
Animal Company. I think,
audience
isn't that a game
in
for
6
kids?
months, and they're ranked number 5 in gross first-year revenue as of this summer. Now, another great one, Ghost of Tabor, is a great example of a growing social game. Now, it launched in 2023. It's a paid title, and as of this May, it's already made over $30 million in revenue, with over 1 million players across Quest and Steam.
That's a lot.
It's pretty awesome. So all in all, about 300 apps on the Horizon store have now generated more than $1 million in revenue, and 10 apps have generated over $50 million.
It's an emerging market. There's a lot of money to be made in VR.
Boz talked earlier. Awesome. Love money for you. Thank you. It's freezing up here.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Trex.
Boz talked earlier about the new AI tools
at the
that
moment,
can help creators build worlds in Horizon.
And they can hear everyone
and there's a new set of features to help developers build better and faster with AI. So we know most of you and your studios are already working with your own stack of AI tools. So we focused here on how to best integrate with whatever you're already
two amazing people.
First up,
all over
we've got a new
Instagram.
MCP
I think,
server.
Trex, you traveled up to San
your
Francisco, didn't you, in
LLM
the Mask
to provide it with
I
all
see
the
that right?
relevant
I was 10 hours in San
context
Francisco.
from our Horizon OS
That's
knowledge base. This can
Wow.
really
Yeah.
accelerate
That's
your work.
amazing.
I tried
So
to sneak
you
in
might
and they
need
said
help
nope. I
understanding
even
how to
I
build a
flirted. I
VR
did
native
everything, but God, like, he
component,
couldn't.
or
He
how to
asked my
publish
number
an
though, but I'm
app
like,
to
nope,
the
sorry.
store. Maybe you want to quickly track
Oh,
down
nice.
events
To the
to
guy.
crash,
That very
or
nice try,
make
right?
your performance better by having your LLM analyze traces
Okay, thank you
and
guys. I'm
logs
gonna move
and
the
maybe
camera
make a
back
recommendation on a solution.
Feel free to
By
join us. We're just
connecting
watching
to our MCP,
the live keynote.
your LLM
part
can
2.
generate some quality code.
This is really
Now,
good.
maybe it's a boilerplate of code so you can save time, or maybe it's a new code snippet in a language that you're not as familiar with. It can even create a full app, like a simple 3D asset viewer using a design mock and prompts. We've got new meta building blocks for Unity that let you integrate your LLMs and computer vision models with the pass-through camera API. This makes it possible to build new experiences that capture and they understand your environment in much deeper ways. Now, it's cool. This is a good start, but we gotta keep pushing more knowledge and capabilities into these AI tools to support all of you. Right now, we're working with Unity on an MCP solution, and we'll be bringing that to you soon. Now, the most important thing that we can do for all of us as developers is we can expand our customer base. Just as people have come to expect that
Thank you,
smartphones
Gilda.
will have web browsers and email clients, VR needs to also deliver the best of today's computing. And it needs to make it better in headset.
I love that. That's
So
what a
we
lot
think
of people
there's an
still
opportunity
don't
in
know
what
you
we
can do.
think
You
of
can
as
take your VR
windowed
headset,
apps
and if
that
you've
run
got
in a
like
window
an
or
Xbox
panel that
subscription or
floats in
whatever,
virtual space.
you can actually play games
Time spent in this category is
on
up more than
massive
60%
screen
over
that
the
floats
past
in your
year.
living room. It's like
Even the old
floors
school
to ceiling,
web
it's
browser
amazing.
is better on a big immersive screen that you can take with you anywhere.
I think a lot of people
Now, over
realize
the last
that now,
year,
which is good.
time spent using the browser is up 28%.
Yes.
And it's actually become one of the most popular
Yes.
apps on the platform.
Browse is amazing.
Now, a personal favorite of mine is Discord. Yes, you gotta have it.
No,
You
they're
gotta
bringing
have
Discord.
it.
That's
It's the
outstanding.
heart of so many gaming communities.
I think
And
Discord's
the good news
confusing. There's
is
so much going
it's
on,
coming to
but
Quest
yeah, that's a good
as a
thing.
native app. So super
Wow.
excited about that. I know many of you, it's awesome. Love Discord.
That's big news.
A lot of you use that to connect with your customers, so having it right here on the platform is going to be a big win for all of us. It's now much easier to port your Android apps into VR with the new Meta Horizon Android
Oh, yeah?
Studio plugin. There's the Meta Spatial SDK
Oh, yeah.
for spatializing traditional Android apps, and the Spatial Simulator.
That's cool.
That'll come soon to help you test how your apps work in VR.
You want Pratt and Greet tonight, actually.
There's another big opportunity in entertainment and media, which can be so much better in headset. Now, you heard James Cameron yesterday talking about why he's so committed to producing a new generation of native VR content. This has the potential to bring in entirely new groups of people into VR, which is awesome news for all of us. And we've got new apps coming soon from Disney Plus and Blumhouse, and a heck of a lot more that are in the works. Bringing all this new content into headsets is really important. It's a big part of the ecosystem. But there's also an opportunity to go in the other direction. We can bring the best Horizon experiences directly to mobile users. And the more people that can come together in Worlds, the better. Doesn't matter what device they're using. So we've made Worlds a first-class experience on mobile and the web. A world can appear in someone's Facebook or Instagram feed just like any other kind of post, and people can jump straight in with just one tap, which is cool. It's awesome. Yeah. With all of these changes, more people are using Worlds on mobile than ever before. Monthly active users in mobile Worlds are up 4 times over the last year. And creators have published 5,000 new mobile Worlds this year. It's incredible. Thank you, everybody who helped. Amazing. The $50 million Creator Fund is also a big opportunity, and it's paid out millions since it launched in February. And we're announcing another $2.5 million contest today. So it's coming.
Wow.
Now, in-world purchases are up about 280% this year, and the new AI tools make it even easier to create unique items to sell. So whether you're a creator, maybe you're just getting started, or you're a developer working on your first title, or you're a studio trying to figure out what you're going to do next, I hope that there's something here that will help you build and grow. Like I said, games and entertainment, it's a bit of a tough business. It always has been. But there is so much opportunity ahead. Our ecosystem now serves a much wider range of people, and they're all looking for something new. If you can understand your audience and build something meaningful for them, they're out there, they're waiting for you. I hope you're as excited about this opportunity to serve them as I am. Thank you very much.
Amazing.
Okay, so we've heard that VR
Super
is
cool.
going to be home to some of the
Hey,
deepest
it's
and
Buzz.
most powerful AI experiences. I will return us a little bit to yesterday. Big impact on our lives, admittedly in a radically different kind of way. And there is some good news for developers here, too. Ever since we first released the Ray-Ban Meta AI glasses, we have been hearing from people who want to integrate them with their apps. As of today,
Hello?
the wait is finally over.
Oh.
You can now start building with AI glasses using our new Wearable Device Access Toolkit. It lets your app... Oh, thank you, yes. I could feel the anticipation. I was really drawing it out on that one. This Wearable Device Access Toolkit is going to let your app access the vision and audio capabilities of the AI glasses. That'll give your apps a level of contextual awareness that they can simply not get any other way. There's a ton of potential here. Disney's Imagineering R&D team is working on prototypes for how our AI glasses can help people as they navigate the parks. Twitch will enable creators to live stream to their audiences straight from their glasses. Software partners like Logitech
cool.
Streamlabs,
I'm up for that.
creators will be able to multi-stream and personalize their streams with overlays and alerts. Humanware is building an integration that gives blind and low vision
cool as
people
hell.
live guidance as they navigate the world. These are, thank you, yeah. This is great.
That's amazing.
These are just a few early examples. It is clear that AI can deliver a better experience when it understands your context, and when it understands and sees and hears the world around you. As Mark showed yesterday, this gets much more interesting with the addition of a display and a neural input. So we can't wait to see what you guys build with this new toolkit. It is in developer preview today.
I really want to go with that wristband to see how it works, because Jenny was like, I don't get how it works. Is he just writing the words or something? And I'm
bit of a
like,
broken record
I
on
actually
this,
don't
but
know.
we are at the beginning
They just seem to be
of
like
a wave,
brushing
the
their
next
thumbs
great
against their
wave
hands.
of
Oh, it's a
computing.
mystery.
Now, we've been on this journey for over a decade here at Reality Labs, but things were kind of slowly falling into place over that time. But it is starting to come
I'm just
faster
bloody
now,
intrigued.
with superintelligence approaching in particular.
Right.
So to close out today's
I have
keynote,
no idea what's going on.
let's talk about the future. If you are trying to bring a new era of computing to life, you do need a North Star vision that you can pursue over a long period of time. And for the entirety of my time
Always
at
need a
Reality
North
Labs,
Star
and indeed
vision.
the person who convinced me to come work at Reality Labs, our chief scientist, Michael Abrash, has been the keeper of that vision. Over the years, he has been responsible for some of the most memorable moments here at Connect. His research and his lab has developed many of the foundational technologies behind today's VR headsets and the AI glasses you saw yesterday. It is always a treat to hear him speak about what's coming next.
Legend. I could see it
So
there.
I hope you come with me on this journey. It is my tremendous honor to once again welcome him to the Connect stage.
Science bit.
Take it from here, Michael.
Concentrate. Say that.
Wow. You know, although it's kind of hard to believe, it's been 11 years since I first shared a vision of the future with you at Connect. There has been a ton of progress since then, and I'm pleased to be able to say that as that future has gotten closer, the core of what I talked about back then has held up pretty well. In particular, at the 2018 Connect, I described today's connected world of information devices as the first great wave of human-oriented computing, and I said that we were at the start of a second great wave in the form of AR and VR. Today, I believe that more strongly than ever, for reasons I'll get to shortly.
I like this guy. He's get.
Which is not to say that I foresaw the rate of change with any great accuracy. At the third Connect, back in 2016, I made specific predictions about the big leaps toward the second wave that I thought would ship in the next 5 years. You can see my display predictions here. The 9 years that have passed since then provide fresh confirmation of Hofstadter's law. It always takes longer than you expect, even when you take into account Hofstadter's law. Quest has made steady progress on pixels and resolution, but it still has a little ways to go. Meanwhile, depth of focus, field of view, and many of my other predictions have been demonstrated in research prototypes, but have yet to ship.
Hey, it's the watch.
The future I laid out 9 years ago is, in fact, arriving, just a little later than I expected. But here's what I missed. At the same time that AR and VR were moving forward, something unexpected emerged that will play a big part in our future lives. Contextual AI. A technology that didn't even exist 10 years ago, except in the imagination of a few visionaries, one of whom you'll hear from next.
Yeah.
Unlike today's LLMs and generative AI, which learn from the Internet's digital reflection of our world, contextual AI also understands the physical world itself. Spatial relationships, objects, human behavior.
Which, fair disclaimer, I'm running a live stream right now, so I can hear anything within this area.
This is truly something new under the sun, and it will forever alter the way we interact with the digital world, partnering us with computers and connecting us more closely with each other to massively amplify our potential in a truly personalized, human-oriented way. Expect it or not, these technologies have now set the full extent of the second great wave in motion, and that will change the world even more than the first wave, in ways you'll hear about over the next 40 minutes and will experience over the next 40 years. In order to properly understand the second wave, it's useful to look at the genesis of the first wave, because that's the only other time the way humans interact with the digital world has ever fundamentally changed. Let's start in 1957, which is arguably where it all began. That's when JCR Licklider, universally known as Lick, encountered the experimental TX2,
Lick.
one of the first
they
real-time
called him Lick.
computers in the basement
Lick.
of Lincoln Labs.
That's
That
Licky.
experience led Lick to a remarkable insight that would eventually transform our world. The hope is that, in not too many years, human brains and computing machines will be coupled together very tightly, and that the resulting partnership will think as no human brain has ever thought, and process data in a way not approached by the information handling machines we know today.
Dali's some heavy shit
At
down
ARPA in the
low on his rip.
1960s, Lick funded a broad range of research that fed into that vision. One of the researchers Lick funded was Doug Engelbart, for whom human-computer interaction was a consuming passion.
My God,
As
how
the
old
book
are we? But
Bootstrapping
carry
put
on,
it,
it's all good.
Engelbart felt that the complexity
He
of many of the
licks
world's
the
problems was
bootstrapping.
becoming overwhelming, and the time for solving them increasingly short. What was needed, he determined, was a system to augment human intelligence, co-transforming or co-evolving both humans and the machines they use.
Wait, oh my God.
That led Engelbart to
Palmer
ask
Licky.
a question that would change the course of history.
Carmelicky?
If in your
That's
office,
no,
you,
that you cut no.
as an intellectual
I
worker, were
forbid
supplied
that. I
with
like
a computer
Palmer
display
Licky's
backed
fun.
up by a computer that was alive for you all day and was instantly responsive to every action you have, how much value could you derive from that?
Boom.
In 1968, Engelbart answered that question by showing the way to the future of human-computer interaction with the mother of all demos, demonstrating what is recognizably the ancestor of the graphical user interfaces that surround us today. A good chunk of Engelbart's team eventually went to the Xerox Palo Alto Research Center, Xerox PARC, in the 1970s, as did many of the researchers Lick had funded. PARC created the first true personal computer, the Alto, and refined and extended Engelbart's work to create the Alto's interface, which then directly influenced the Mac team during 2 visits in 1979. And that led to the Mac and Windows and everything that followed. Today, we live in a world that Lick and Engelbart made, to the extent that every one of you has a direct descendant of their vision in your pocket or bag. Or in your hand, if I'm not being interesting enough. The first great wave formed the sea we swim in. And yet, as sweeping as that revolution has been, it's unfinished. Here's why. At the most basic, unromantic level, each of us is a CPU with memory, input, and output. Our entire experience of the world is a function of the information coming in through our senses and the results we perceive our actions to cause. Crucially, it does not make any difference where the information comes from or where the actions are expressed. Virtual information and actions can be as valid as real. And our daily lives prove that.
Town crier.
Oh no.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Oh, is that frozen
Meta
for anyone
news.
else? Has that frozen for anyone else, or is it just me?
It's not frozen for me.
Okay. In that case, let me just anchor this here. Bear with me, guys. Technical problems. Yeah, I'll be right back. Sorry. Just... Oh, there. Don't you move a muscle. I'll be right back. Whoa, is this... Ow. Is the anchoring not... Oh, okay. Don't mind me. I'm just going to go over here.
Of our senses. So it can only deliver a small subset of what we're capable of experiencing and doing. And because we can only interact through this narrow channel, our devices demand constant attention, fragmenting our focus, keeping us heads down, and pulling us away from the people right in front of us. For example, all joking aside, I'm willing to bet that many of you are looking at a first wave screen right now. That's just the distracting nature of the technology. Which brings us to the second wave, which has the potential to put us back in the world through a combination of rich augmentation that mixes real and virtual freely and contextual AI. The first part of that involves completing what the first wave started by driving all our senses at full bandwidth. Now, virtual experiences that are completely indistinguishable from physical reality are a long way off. But we can already drive vision and hearing in convincing ways, as shown by Quest, Orion, and Ray-Ban Meta, with the path to the future shown by research prototypes such as SIGGRAPH Star's Tiramisu, with its better-than-retinal resolution and high dynamic range, and BOBA, with a 180-degree field of view. And as that technology evolves, it will increasingly allow us to work and play in far richer ways, while enabling truly personal human connection, regardless of distance. Here's an example of what's possible when we move beyond today's 2D framework.
Where am I? Where are you, Mark? Where are we?
You're in Austin, right?
No, I mean this place. We're shrouded by darkness, and it just feels like we're in the same room. I don't know if people can see this, but this is incredible. And sorry to be in your personal space.
I mean,
we have done jiu-jitsu before. I mean, this is just really incredible. I don't know how to describe it with words. It really feels like we're in the same room.
Yeah.
It feels like the future.
Now imagine sitting and talking with those avatars in your living room rather than bending over your phone, squinting at little squares, and you'll get a sense of how the second wave will put us back in the world. So, even though not...
That's boutful.
So even though not all of my predictions have landed, yet, AR, VR hardware and virtual experiences have come a long way over the last decade or so. Now, those sorts of virtual experiences were what I thought the second wave was about 7 years ago, and it is, but only partially. It turns out that bringing richer information to us is only part of finishing Lick's revolution. That's not to say it won't be hugely important. It absolutely will be. But ask yourself this. Once we're immersed in rich information, what is it that determines which information we experience and the ways in which we act on that information? To put it another way, how will we interact with the second great wave? What will be the equivalent of the graphical user interface for this new world? Well, let's think back to Lick's original vision.
Hi, Peter.
Transmitting
I am running a
information
live stream
through
at the
the
moment,
senses
Peter,
is
so
only
anything said
part
in this
of
summer
coupling
facility can be
humans
heard.
and computers.
Just so you know.
Everything I've discussed so far has to do with our relationship with the external world. And that is obviously very important, but it's not the entirety of the human experience. In particular, it's not what makes us, us. The core of being human is what happens in our minds, our models of the world, our goals, our predictions and plans around those goals, and most especially the decisions we make and the actions we then take. And this process is internal. Technology has vastly expanded the range and power of our interactions with the external world, but it has barely touched our internal experience. Even though I spend every day with my phone, it has little understanding of my context, my goals, or my decision process, so it can't help me with my internal experience. But if it could, it would revolutionize my life in many ways, ranging from reminders to hearing assistance to context-aware cooking and repair guidance to helping me remember things, and much, much more. The combination of context-sensing wearables and AI that directly observes and understands both your digital and physical worlds in real time and acts to help you achieve your goals, that is, personalized contextual AI, can make all that happen. For example, imagine that it's a few months from now and you're wearing Ray-Ban Metas when you sit down to talk with a friend in a noisy restaurant. You'd manually turn on the conversation focus feature Mark talked about yesterday, and you'd look at the friend while they're talking. If a second friend sat down, you'd turn to look at whoever was talking, and you'd hear the whole conversation clearly, despite the background noise. Pretty great, right? Now, imagine that instead, when you walk into the restaurant, the AI in the glasses notices it's noisy. Then when you sit down with a friend, the AI detects you're in a conversation, and since it knows your preferences, it automatically turns on conversation focus to enhance whatever the friend says. When a second friend sits down, the AI detects that as well and uses conversation focus to enhance what each person says, regardless of whether you're looking at them at the time. You're not even aware that this is happening. As far as you're concerned, the background noise isn't affecting your conversation at all. The first version of conversation focus is a truly valuable feature, and I cannot wait to have it. But thanks to contextual AI, the second version would be the full and proper augmentation of audio perception.
In an emergency situation.
Now, extend that to full contextual awareness. Imagine that your AI can build real-time understanding of your actual three-dimensional environment and your movement within it, like this.
Everybody ignoring you with their glasses?
No, the AI would recognize that you're in danger.
And that it can identify the objects around you.
To the police or something.
And what you're engaged in.
Or it would quickly
doesn't take a
teach
lot
you
of
how to come through your
imagination
way
to
out
come
of
up
the
with
situation.
uses for AI that
Step in.
understands you and your context and can act to help you achieve your
Yeah.
goals. Questions like, how many calories have I had today? Which of these microwaves is top rated? And how do I fix this bike wheel? Become easy to answer. Relevant notes can pop up proactively in a meeting based on the discussion. You can easily note and recall items of interest with perfect clarity. Calls and texts can get handled appropriately based on how cognitively and socially engaged you are, and whether it's your mother or a robocall. And all of this, and a great deal more, is now becoming possible. There are literally thousands of possibilities, some large, some small, but they all add up to helping you do what you want to do with your life in a far deeper way than anything that's gone before. This is AI that helps you focus when you need to focus, remember what you need to remember, connect more meaningfully with people, and enhance your experience in the world rather than taking you out of it. This revolutionary partnership between humans and the digital world has become possible due to two key developments over the last few years: large language models and wearable devices that see what you see and hear what you hear. For the first time, we now have technology with the potential to amplify your intentions rather than fragmenting your attention. And contextual AI will help you achieve your goals in a virtual world as readily as in the real world. It will be your partner anywhere there's contextual information to be processed and actions to be taken. Now, 11 years ago, I would have dismissed all this as pie-in-the-sky science fiction. But the combination of Ray-Ban Metas, LLMs, and a decade of research has made contextual AI the obvious future of human-oriented computing, the heart of the second great wave. Now, when I say obvious, I mean it in the sense that Steve Jobs used when talking about his transformational visit to Xerox PARC. Within 10 minutes, it was obvious to me that all computers would work like this someday. It was obvious. You could argue about how many years it would take. You could argue about who the winners and losers might be, but you couldn't argue about the inevitability. It was so obvious. 10 years from now, we'll all be using contextual AI interfaces, and we'll take it for granted that human brains and computing machines are coupled together very tightly. Together with AR and VR, this completes Lick's vision, and it will be the sea we swim in. Contextual AI plus AR/VR changes the playing field so dramatically that we need to ask ourselves an updated version of Engelbart's core question. If in your life, you, as a member of an information-rich society, were supplied with a computer that could provide rich sensory information all day, understood your context, and was constantly aware of your goals and able to help you achieve them, how much value could you derive from that? That's a question that we'll all be thinking about for decades to come, and that many of you will play an important role in answering. Now, please welcome someone who's been thinking about the answer longer and more deeply than pretty much anyone on the planet, Richard Newcomb.
Richard Newcomb, like Duke Nukem. Or maybe not the Duke Nukem.
Michael shared why the mother of all demos in 1968 shaped the course of computing for the last 50 years. And if you're trying to imagine what the next 50 years might look like, there's another moment from 1968 that had a huge impact on humanity. During the Apollo 8 mission that year, the astronaut William Anders was orbiting the moon and captured a photograph of Earth rising above the lunar horizon. Now, this perspective of our world was incredibly novel and powerful. It was, in fact, the first color image of the Earth ever taken by a human, and unlike anything people had seen before. A world most people knew to be fractured by national borders and political divisions suddenly appeared united and singular, unique and precious amongst the vastness of space. This legendary photo became known as Earthrise, and it's one of the most widely reproduced images of all time.
How are you doing? You okay?
It helped kickstart the modern environmental movement and quite literally changed the way people understand the world we all share. Now, Earthrise represented the profound potential for disaster and greatness, all held within our blue marble.
Some people around who sat here watching.
So just as J.C.R. Licklider and his disciples were moving the world into a new era of personal computing, Earthrise helped move the world into an era of increasingly shared global thinking.
Measure Horizon event space, but some people don't have the immersive home yet, so we've
If it were
We've gone
possible
across
to
to be
reach out and
attacked to,
collaborate with anyone on the planet, with any group of any size,
Yeah,
wherever
do a
they
watch
are,
party with us. So people are
it's
dropping in and
very
dropping out all the
likely
time. Sorry, mate,
that
it's not
somewhere
moving
in
on,
those
on
8
mute, so you
billion
can't hear me.
minds
I don't
are
want
the
to sort of talk
keys
across
to
the
unlocking
the
solutions
broadcast.
to
But
your
anyway,
biggest
how are we
problems.
all? You two? This is
Across the
Meta
span
Connect,
of human history,
developer
people will have faced
Keynote,
problems
this
related
day
to those
2 of
you're
Meta
trying to
Connect.
solve.
Technically
And
day
you-
3, because day 1 was the
You
Developers Summit.
likely have
But they're
ideas
doing
or
lots of
answers
really
that
interesting
someone
shit
else
now.
needs.
But, like, just for anyone else
If
watching,
only
I'm
we could
streaming
connect,
to
we'd unlock
every platform
each
right
other's
now:
potential.
Instagram, Kick, YouTube,
But here's
Twitch.
the thing.
In
our finite lives, humans
so, yeah,
can't
we shoot
actually
them all
reach
backwards.
out and
I'm gonna
connect with
put this
everyone.
back, so it's what it is. Say
In the
hello.
early 1990s,
There we
British
go.
anthropologist
Yes.
Robin Dunbar showed we can maintain only
Awesome.
around 150 social stable
It's been
relationships.
incredible so far.
This is Dunbar's number, our cognitive limit for tracking
Oh.
trust and reputation. We have intimate friends of about 5 people, 15 close friends, 50 good friends, and the rest colleagues and acquaintances we might directly interact with only infrequently. That's the extent of our immediate social reach. Yet,
Well,
we are closer to anyone on the planet
Kevin
than we
Bacon.
think. 40
I
years
would've
earlier,
thought.
the Hungarian writer Frigyes Karinthy proposed that everyone is separated by just 6 degrees of separation. And made famous by who? Kevin Bacon, that's right. So, starting with someone you know who knows someone else and continuing just 4 more times, you reach anyone on Earth. The math is staggering. This network reach grows exponentially. And even more staggering to think about is that just 80 generations of humans connect us to everyone who ever lived, and hence every thought ever conceived.
That's mental.
Between Dunbar's number and just 6 degrees separating us all, we see our limits and our potential. Now, earlier, Michael introduced the first wave of human-oriented computing. It brought us the internet and mobile, connecting us in vast networks and putting our real-world contacts just a
might
tap
do more of
away.
these,
Here, we see the visualization of the
watch
Facebook
parties.
graph
You guys
already
interested?
connecting us
Guys in the
across
stream
the planet
specifically?
by 2012. And of course, web
It's been
search
good. I love
opened the
this.
world's stored knowledge to us
Oh,
all.
look, savages just come in.
So why is it
Yeah.
that we still struggle to harness
Savage.
what we've built? What will it take
Savage,
for us
just
to
a quick
make
heads up,
that
mate.
next
I am
leap?
doing a live stream, so
To
anything
understand
within
why,
vicinity
we
can
have
be
to
heard. But hello,
recognise
and Morton.
that the foundation of everything we ever achieve is underpinned by human communication.
Oops.
Without most of us noticing, this is the sea our individual
Laggy
and
issues.
societal
Savage is
cognition
great. So
swims
Savage
in.
is like a big OG
And like
builder
many
from
of us brought up in
Horizons.
engineering and science
he's
disciplines,
very well
it has
known for
taken
the
me
Metabay or
a
MB
long
wills.
time to understand
They're these
that
sort of
all problems
one of the original
are
18 plus
communication
communities.
problems.
Yeah,
Does that
he's, he's
resonate?
incredibly lovely guy as well. Very switched on.
All communication is how we get things done. All problems are effectively communication problems, reaching alignment, reaching the right minds to coordinate action towards our shared goals. This is the hidden problem
That's
we're
always the key
always
to, I think,
solving.
running a good community in
Now,
in
to some that
Horizons
may
or
sound
indeed VR chat or
exaggerated,
both.
and I don't mean to convey that
Connecting
all
with
that
other
matters
communities.
to humans is communication.
So important.
But seriously,
We're all learning this
all
together.
human progress over millennia has come from networks of people
So many amazing people
communicating.
like that.
First face-to-face, then over time and distance as our technology has advanced. Human communication is how we create
Anyway,
shared
sorry,
mental
I'll stop
models,
talking over this.
synchronize our behavior, and execute at scale.
So, yeah,
And this applies
view
from
for the people on
everyday
Instagram's very
interaction
not
with
good.
the
I'm
most
gonna
common activities to the
sound
greatest
that
and most
more. There we
complex
go. Here's that.
activities that humans are engaged
Cool.
in today. So I really think that it's through a revolution in human communication that we're going to be able to break free of our personal and societal limits. And we've seen this time and again. The printing press triggered the Reformation.
Events
The
at the White
telegraph
Lotus
reshaped the global
tonight. We
economy.
had to cancel
And the
fishing
internet
last night
rewired the
because
way
obviously
we relate
they
to
one
each
of
other.
the Connect You
All
was
of
on.
these have
So
expanded
we're
our
all at
ability
that.
to share
The
ideas
pre-party
and
for that.
coordinate
Of course, the
action.
White Lotus Meta Connect
Each
pre-party
communication
was
leap
a scream.
brings
There were so
a
many
new
people there. It's
societal scale operating
tonight
system
we've got dance
that
right
amplifies
here in the VR
potential
chat, Lotus.
for human
But
connection
before that, we've got
and
the,
collaboration.
we've got the pool
And
party.
the results speak
So
for themselves.
anyone can come to the pool
Shared
party.
knowledge,
You patch the ears
institutions,
to reform
economies,
about.
societies,
And the White
and
Lotus is a community
civilization
for
as
people
we
who
know
are
it today.
a bit older. So
Now, the reason this is so important
yeah, pool
is
party over in
because,
Horizons,
as
then we'll
humans,
split over to
our
VR
individual
chat by about 10
communication
PM UK
bandwidth
time.
is severely limited
fun.
by
Do it every week.
our biology.
Boom.
And I think we all know our limits intuitively. We can effectively listen to only one person at a time. Our communication operates serially.
The dancing, great.
We function half duplex. We
in
can't
here because
truly speak and listen
we have body
simultaneously,
trackers.
although sometimes
So
we think we can.
when we dance in here up on the
And while
poles on
modern
the podiums
technology
or down
lets
on the
us
stage,
broadcast to millions, we can't
you can
tailor our
actually see the
message
legs
to
moving.
each listener
It's really
or reader.
cool.
And we can't
Then we
read
thought
and
we-
synthesize thousands of
something we
articles
can't
in
do
parallel
now.
either. Our process of absorbing
Subscribe
complex
for
ideas through language
notifications if you do
is
want to see the dance,
fundamentally
because I'll probably do a
serial.
very small live stream later.
So just how limited are we?
We do dance workouts
Well,
a bit.
it
Gets a little bit
appears
swassy,
that all of
but,
our civilization
it's great
seems to
fun.
flow
So one
through
thing
a
you can't do in
biological
Horizon Worlds right
communication
now is you
bottleneck
can't
of around just
track
10
your legs,
bits per
so you can't
second.
send like wiggle your back or move
Think
your
about
legs
it
around.
like this.
So dancing is
The
right
famous
back
American
hands and
mathematician
head.
Claude Shannon, who
3-point
created
tracking, they
information
call it in
theory,
Horizon Worlds.
calculated that there's just 7 to 10 bits
so
of information
in VR
per
track, you
English
could
word.
do all
And at
your
normal
arms, legs,
speaking
and
speed,
everything.
that's
So it's
110 to 150 words per minute. That's on the order of just 10 bits per second per person. Think about that. Every law,
It does make dance work
every
more
letter,
challenging though, because obviously
every
you know everyone can
breakthrough
see
in
what your
human
legs are doing.
history, everything I'm saying to you
crazy.
right now, you understand by way of a communication channel narrower than a 1990s dial-up modem. And what makes the limit of our communication bandwidth even more stark is that our rich conscious experience of reality, as fed by what we can see, hear, smell, and taste, and feel, operates at around 1 billion bits per second. Let me put that into perspective. Just think about watching a 4K video streaming onto your device. That's decoding at 8.3 million pixels per frame. And at 60 FPS, that is gigabits of data per second that's being decoded. But when we try to understand and share what we think or feel with another person, just as I'm attempting to do right now with you, I must encode symbols you can understand, expressed through actions, these words expressed through sound. You direct your perception via retention, funnel, sift, and decode back into your feelings and your
looking
thoughts.
forward to it. It's going to be amazing.
Perception is far from a passive process. It's tightly coupled to our own and each other's cognition.
No naan bread. It's too much
And we
carb.
continuously collapse and process our seemingly rich multimodal experience, our inner life. 8 orders of magnitude of perception to make decisions and produce the next action we take, the next movement we make. These actions span human communication. Written, spoken, sign, and body language is how we do it. And it's not just words and gestures, it's anything
you're not
we
following me on
recognise
Instagram,
in the
do
actions
so.
of others.
I post
in
multiple
context.
times to Instagram every day,
Art,
lots and lots of video
music,
clips.
dance,
So yeah,
design,
come find me on Instagram.
cuisine,
It's an
every way we've learned
I'm
to
also
share.
on YouTube and see Twitch.
Compared to the bandwidth of
I
our
would say
computers
Instagram's probably
today,
the one
it's
platform to really
astonishing
follow
to
me on.
find
That's
that all of this may play out
It's
at a
the
rate of
only
just
one I
10
check the
bits per
messages on
second
as well.
of our interaction between us.
TikTok I'm
But
on,
that
but to be
is
honest,
the
I
entire
posted
channel
dump
of thought
movings every
transfer
sort of
between us.
2 weeks. And they usually just recycle stuff.
And yet, despite these
Oh my goodness,
limitations,
who's on the pulse right now?
we have managed to build the modern world. How? Well, it's by building layers on top of that communication channel, by creating human networks that transcend the individual
Instagram
limits.
is
We build companies, universities, governments, sports teams,
Should be in my
religions,
bio.
all
Just check
structures
my bio.
that
I do
minds
link all
together
my
into a
accounts to each
worldwide
other.
social
It'd be
intelligence.
probably easier than me reading.
These networks enable us to broadcast and align on goals, then filter and synthesize solutions from tens to thousands to even millions of minds. Some operate for just days at a time in response to emergencies, and others, like churches and universities, have sustained this collective processing for millennia. Think about what these networks actually do. They're aggregation machines for human cognition. Now, we've invented tools to extend our individual capabilities, books for external memory, mathematics for structured reasoning, information processing, and the internet to defy distance. But it's only through our human networks that we truly transcend the bottleneck of what a single mind can read, hold, reason about, and articulate.
I used to stream to TikTok actually, but
These
TikTok kind of did a bit of a
networks
number
are
on
how
me.
we
I think
cause action and change
because I didn't
in the
stream
world.
to TikTok for about
And
6
every
months.
great human
I had
achievement
a really long
reveals
break.
this truth. These great
they
things
kind of
that
revoked my
humans
ability to
create
stream,
aren't
which is
products
silly.
of isolated brilliance.
But I'm still streaming
They
to
are
every
emergent
platform now.
properties of shared attention, sustained
journalist.
dialogue, and
I see you.
co-creative possibility.
How you doing?
All flowing through these networks despite our narrow communication channel. Individual human minds are limited, but human networks are limitless. And until very recently, these networks had to be formed with great effort and cost explicitly. So, where are we now? Well, we now stand at a one-way door in history that changes this. We're at the dawn of AI. And at last, we have a technology that can sift, aggregate, synthesize, and predict the consequences of vastly more information than a single mind ever could, and by multiple orders of magnitude. Remember, this is something previously possible only by networks of humans operating over time. So, while some people look at AI as it exists today and think its biggest impact is going to be in automating important things we already do, this overlooks the way the technology fundamentally changes the dynamic of how networks of human minds can be connected more effectively. I want us to think about how AI is beginning to enable a fluid network of humans with all our experiences and artifacts to connect across all of humanity, creating a structure at least as capable as any of our organizations today. Imagine individuals gaining access to the power of entire companies, wherever they are, and for as long as they need it, unlocking their reach to billions of minds.
Currently sat in
well,
the White Lotus,
we're at the start of that leap that gives each individual mind access to that capability via a federated system of input, aggregation, processing, synthesis, and output. And this is much bigger than just adding growing sources of information to ever-increasing compute resources. AI can help us reach out and connect with the people who can help us create new ideas.
Party pad number 2.
So I believe the most important output of AI won't be new blocks of text,
a year and a half
images, or lines
we still
of code.
run the place
it
in
will
Horizons
be
every
people
day, of course.
coming together to work, perform, play and create.
The after party
art,
is
music,
in VR chat.
Food, science, sports,
that's the Tower of
learning and
Babel.
loving.
Watching, no one
in
ever
essence,
gets that. Pimp
all the
ticket at the
things that
Colosseum.
make us human.
Which is fun.
But current AI has a critical limitation.
Definitely
it has no concept
We've actually got
of
the
our
pool like that. I
actual
don't know if we can
physical reality. It knows our texts, our images, our digital footprints, but not our lived
really big
experience. How can it truly help us if it can't conceive of the actual physical world we inhabit every second of every day? To unlock that next leap, we need to connect our always-on context with AI, and this is the advent of contextual AI that Michael introduced.
I'm so distractible.
Contextual AI bridges the gap between our embodied reality and our symbolic cognitive
world. We're supposed to be watching this. Come on. This is incredibly interesting.
It's going to enable us to understand the reality we're in with AI together. And as Michael noted, this is now being made possible by AI glasses that hear what you hear and see what you see.
That's amazing.
These form a new generation of wearable computers that understand what you're doing and how you work with others to get things done. And over time, signals like these form the basis of a personal repository of context. This repository will be of ever-increasing value to each of us and enable AI to not only tailor our interactions and access to what's important in the moment, but also to uncover deep patterns that are hidden to us.
It's just a sort of curve when it's just sort of hanging up in the Lotus.
This is the start of personal superintelligence. And as AI wearables evolve, personal superintelligence allows us to understand patterns across long ranges of time, with context windows that span years. Multiply that by billions of people, and we unlock humanity's hidden patterns and all of our opportunities. Take someone who sets out to improve their fitness. Contextual AI can understand the small chain of decisions that lead from inactivity to successfully running a first marathon. Or imagine getting a better understanding of how each of us learn and develop new skills over time.
Part 1
and why is something seemingly impossible for some effortless for others?
2 seconds.
How do we find common ground
Charlene, I'm doing a live stream right now, so anything in this area can be
for that matter, how do we arrive at an understanding of what is going on? The trajectories of these experiences, while highly personal, encode how
there's
change
loads of people in
happens
here
over
now. It's
time.
crazy. There's
And
actually
these
there's room for
insights can
80
be
people in
shared.
here. You'd never think.
The potential
It's
here
nuts.
is for AI to understand how our connected lives
You know, they
weave
keep track
together
on
to
Meta's
form a
website
shared
right now.
reality.
They've done a
once
second
it
generation
does,
of wearable smart
it
glasses.
will transform
So these
everything.
are these are
Contextual AI, of
spectacles,
course, will
eyeglasses, I guess.
ensure you get exactly the right information
They have little
when you need
cameras
it,
in, and they connect to
how
your
you
phone,
need it.
right?
But the true
So as you're
transformation
walking
we're
around, you
talking
can be
about will
like,
come
hey,
from
what's
AI
that
helping
object
us
in
come
front of me?
together
And I'll use the
to
cameras
discover
to
and
basically
create
tell you what's in
opportunities
front of you.
and to solve
There's a
problems
whole lot of
both on a
features.
personal
And one of the most
and a
cool features in
societal
them
scale. And I think this is the
is they
full
have these like
expression of
bone
JCR
conductive sort
Licklider's
of
vision
I think
that
they're
Michael
bone
referred
conductive.
to
They're really
earlier,
near
where
field sort of
machines
headphones.
coupled tightly with
You
our
can
minds
hear the music
help
really
humans
loud
make
that's coming out of
decisions,
them if you
find
like
new
play your
patterns, and
music.
extend
But
cognition
no one else around
into
you
new
can.
territories.
See,
And with contextual AI,
you move into
that
the
future
other
has arrived.
glasses that they
And
announced
it's the foundation of what Michael called
and they were called
the
the
second great
the
wave
Meta
of
display
human-oriented
glasses, right?
computing.
Phenomenal things.
This lays the
They
foundation
actually show
for true
images and the
societal
text which is
scale
inside.
cognition,
I
an
think it's the right-hand
operating
lens.
system
So
for
imagine being able
billions
to
of
like
minds.
look at images and listen to audio
Now,
just in a pair of
earlier,
glasses.
I asked
This
us
is
to
the
imagine
default
the
for
potential
smartphones.
of reaching
Smartphones
out
are going.
and collaborating
They're
with
going to be replaced
anyone
by
on the
headwear.
planet,
This is nuts.
bringing all
But
of humanity
it's not like
together
Google
to
Glass
create
headwear.
and
It's
solve
headwear
the
that actually
problems we
looks
care
whole
about.
street wearable.
Well,
Like
we're
Google
starting
Glass
to see
looks
how
silly.
this
You look
will
like an
become
extra from
possible.
Star Trek.
This is the outline of humanity's next interface
Spectral concepts,
with the digital
pacing
world,
glasses.
AI,
With
and each other.
And what's more,
This new interface
you don't even have
must
to like
operate
shout,
and
"Hey
extend
Meta,
the
do
two
stuff on
distinct
this,"
modes
because
through which
they've
humans
got like a wrist
experience and
controller.
act on reality.
So you just like
the
gesture with a
immersive
wrist controller
and the
quietly.
cognitive.
Rude, discreet.
Let me explain.
As soon as you just scroll through
The
messages and
first
pictures
mode
just by
speaks
sort of
directly to our immersion in
rubbing
reality,
your thumb
our rich
against you in the,
perception of real life
top of your
achieved
hand.
by
It's really weird.
devices that immerse our
Super
senses.
cool.
Just as Michael talked about, they
yeah,
span
that one
spatialized
is
vision, hearing,
about
the sense of touch, and one day, taste and smell.
$799.
They operate at high bandwidth and in a parallel manner, and they create a
the
compelling
cheaper
sense
smart
of
glass is
presence,
still very
be it
capable.
real or virtual.
They got now got
Our
twice the
second
battery
mode
life.
extends cognition.
And they
This
are
is about how devices
that's
augment our
starting
low
at 300.
bandwidth individual
Well, kind of
communication
tempting.
and cognition channel to help us collapse that sea of experience into understanding, to solve problems, and to connect with each other. And over the last decade, Reality Labs has made
I'm
significant
going to let this guy up
investments
afterwards
across
because I think
each
he's
of
really
these
clever.
dimensions.
The other guy, the scientist guy
We
as
have
well.
a rich
He
trajectory
seemed
of products
really
coming
clever.
that enable us to test critical hypotheses about humanity's next interface. We can imagine a very powerful North Star product where any possible immersive experience meets the future of our extended cognition. But for the time
those of
being,
you guys who don't know,
delivering
Reality Labs
high
is
levels of
what
immersion
used to be
involves a
Oculus.
trade-off with the
Very,
all-day
very
wearability
important
of the
company.
device. And fundamentally, if a
Built
device
by
can only
Meta
be
for
worn
like,
for a short
like
period of time,
billion,
it
2
can't be
billion
useful to
years
users
ago?
wherever they are.
Huge
And if that's
investment.
the case, it won't unlock the full potential of always-on wearable sensing because it can't be ubiquitous. And ultimately, that's the limit of its potential to help and connect people. Now, that doesn't mean that there's no value in immersion. It's very clear that if we could build a real holodeck, then that would be a significant value. But until then,
Everyone wants
immersive
one of those
devices have
hologram
to offer more than what the incumbent
rooms.
technology already
I
provides.
want a hologram room.
And Michael
That'd be
showed
amazing.
a compelling use case
Hold
for
on,
immersion.
Ava, just
It's
a little
social teleportation. The technologies we're building, like
Hi,
hyperscape
Angel
and
Dust.
codec
Just a quick
avatars,
disclaimer.
will
I'm doing a
enable
live
humans
stream, so
to
anything in this sort of
finally
area
defy
can be heard
distance.
and it's been good cast.
The value
Okay,
there
enjoy.
is crystal clear and universal, enabling people to feel truly present with anyone, anywhere, as easily as making a video
We should
call.
just sign up, shouldn't they? It's warning
Now,
people.
looking
So
toward
it's nice to let
amplification
people
and
know this is
cognition,
stream going.
we've already introduced the world to the
So what's she doing on
potential
the
of
floor?
AI wearables, starting with
Oh.
Ray-Ban Meta. And yesterday,
What are they-
Mark announced
Wow,
Meta
so
Ray-Ban
much-
Display,
These are the Ray-Ban
giving AI
watches.
glasses a way to visually
Yeah, the
output
displays.
information to the
These are
user,
the ones to watch.
as well as
Look at those.
silent, ultra-low friction
incredible.
input
Look at
with the
that.
new Meta
So
neural band.
if you go on Meta's website, you
Every
can hear
new
Notify Me
capability
button
like
when they got
this
for sale.
brings us
They
one step
reckon they're going to
closer
start
to the vision
selling
we're
them in a
talking
few
about
weeks.
today.
So this technology is
And
nearly
this is
here.
the
It's
start
very
of what will be
exciting.
a very rapid process.
These are the wristbands.
What really matters is actually that the process
They
has
were
started,
nicknamed
and these
Celeste and
products
Ceres,
take a
but
first
they've been
step
called
in
Hypernova
filling
or-
the AI context gap.
Or now the new title
Now,
is
Project
like Meta
Aria, first
Ray-Ban
introduced in
display or something.
2020, and now
Very
in its
cool.
second generation, began our
Normal
development development of
barrier.
contextual AI, combining advanced sensing and mobile compute on frame to furnish AI with much better context from glasses. And our future products will begin to unlock the value made possible by
Valve
these
announced
signals,
their headset
including
today.
understand what
I
we're
know there's a
looking
big
at
announcement in
and what we're trying to
Detroit,
get done.
isn't there? Lots of
These personal
Lots of
context signals enable
whistle being pulled
personal
down
AI.
there.
Superhuman memory, perfect recall, instant expertise, and they help
Quite
us achieve
excited.
goals,
Steam
understand
Frame, I
each
think
other,
it's
and
called.
grow.
Quite excited to learn what
Personal superintelligence,
that's all about.
social teleportation, and other capabilities made possible by these
Social
products
teleportation.
unlock the full
I love
potential
that.
for all of humanity to work and create the reality we want. And it's really a new space of applications that becomes possible that's grounded in a shared understanding of reality, personal growth, and societal coordination. The result will be social superintelligence that allows us for the first time to align on important problems, understand what the real causes are, and work together to solve them. And as these technologies converge with true AR, immersive displays meet contextual AI, we approach something profound. An interface that doesn't separate us from reality, but enhances our experience of it and our connection to each other. There couldn't be anything more human than this.
Pool of warm water. That'd be amazing.
So just imagine 25 years from now, looking back
All right,
at
thank
2050.
you. See you soon.
Just as we look back at
seconds.
1968 as a turning point, the birth
I
of
do,
personal
Dave. I'm on a
computing
live
and
stream right
planetary
now, so
consciousness,
anything in this area
what
is
will
being
they say
broadcast
about
live,
this
just
moment?
for your info.
Those astronauts who took that Earthrise photo went to explore the moon and discovered Earth. We're building personal superintelligence, but I think we're going to discover the value of each other. This is humanity's next interface, not just with computers or AI, but with each other. And if we build it right, it won't just change what we can do, it will change who we can become. Thank you.
That was amazing. Boom. Coming up next. What we got? Oh, hello. I'm actually going to use this opportunity to get a drink, I think. Ow. Anyway, right. Alright, yeah, mister. You lot stay right there, don't move a muscle. And I'm gonna run away a sec.
Hey folks, welcome to MetaConnect 2025. For those of you who haven't met me yet, I'm Kimberly Unger, Senior Content Sourcing and Strategy Lead here at Meta. But before that, I spent 2 decades as a games industry pro, from 2D mobile artist all the way up through CEO of my own VR startup. And we're coming to you live from Meta's campus in Menlo Park. You might notice something big and blue behind me, and that is a skate ramp we're going to be taking you to shortly. But enough about us. Today is all about you. The developers, creators, and innovators shaping what's next. Each session you'll see today is part of a larger journey, a rhythm that carries us from the first sparks of imagination all the way to the most advanced frontiers of building. We'll begin with stories of inspiration where imagination becomes reality. From there, we'll chart the paths that show you where to start and how to grow. We'll open new possibilities with AI glasses, step into the expanding universe of worlds on Meta Horizon, and follow the evolution of VR, from first prototypes all the way to polished, community-driven launches. We'll widen the canvas with new approaches through Spatial SDK, Android, and WebXR. And finally, we'll close by putting AI directly in your hands with Llama, transforming how developers and creators everywhere can create, adapt, and discover. As you're watching, keep your phone handy. QR codes will pop up throughout the program with links to resources. And if you miss one, everything is available on the Connect Toolkit site. We'll also be joined by guests who are shaping these breakthroughs firsthand. And my co-host Dilmer is already out at Oakley Meta Park, ready to bring us the action from the ground.
Thanks, Kimberly. And hello, everyone. My name is Dilmer Valecillos, and I am a developer advocate here at Meta. I have been a software engineer for more than a decade, also in XR. I also been educating the community on developer tools, and I'm going to be your eyes and ears here on the ground, talking to developers, talking to creators. Really excited to show you some of the spaces that we have. But for now, back to you, Kimberly.
Yeah, back to you, Kimberly.
Thanks, Dilmer. We'll be coming back to you throughout the day to see more of what's happening on the ground. But here at the desk, I'm joined by Chris Pruitt, Director of Games, who's helping shape the future of how developers bring these ideas to life. Chris, thank you for being here with us.
Good morning.
Good morning. So this Connect feels pretty different than previous years. If you put yourself in the back in the shoes of our developers, what's the single biggest takeaway from this year's announcements?
I think for me, it's really clear that the audience for spatialized software, whether it's in a VR headset or in AR glasses or in like our Horizon Worlds product on a phone, the audience is changing. Like we used to have a pretty well-defined sort of single cohort, and now we have all these different people who are interested in spatialized 3D software, games, entertainment, media, all sorts of stuff. And that's a pretty big shift, but also a big opportunity.
Nice. But we've just announced a ton of new hardware, new tools, and even a game engine.
Why does that look like a skate park?
What's going to have the most impact?
It looks like a skate park, doesn't it?
I am pretty excited about the Meta Horizon engine. It's basically, a modern game engine, kind of an MMO in a box, built to do the stuff that we're particularly interested in, which is, sort of massively multiplayer, concurrent, 3D spatial scenes that can, run in the cloud or run on your phone, and it's purpose-built for that. I think it's going to be pretty cool. But also, I think, the big theme of this week is AI.
I really love this meta mugs
there's
they've
a
got
lot
on the
of noise
table.
in the
Imagine
industry.
Can you see those?
A lot
Just
of aspirational ideas,
this.
what this is going to do in 5 years. And I like about our announcements today, the
Can
things
see
we've
the
just heard
mugs,
about,
look.
actually, are that they
I really
are
want one of those
pragmatic.
mugs.
They're available
Wait,
right now.
what do I have to
or
do?
Very soon. And our focus has been on like accelerating
I love it. Okay.
creative people's work rather than sort of replacing them.
Right.
That's what I'm excited about.
That's fantastic.
Oh my God, I've got a big sneeze coming. Don't
First of all,
judge
that's
me.
a lot. But for anyone who's new to all of this, who hasn't worked with us before, who hasn't touched
Sort of our developer base.
Who's they?
And so I think it
Come
really
on.
depends on what kind of creator you are. If you are interested in UGC platforms, for example, Horizon Worlds is growing very quickly. We have a $50 million creator fund that we established this year, which you should check out. If you're like a veteran game developer interested in VR, like Quest 3 and Quest 3S are the most mature VR platforms in the world. We have a very mature tech stack. We've got great integrations with Unity and Unreal. That's definitely the place to start. And if you're a mobile developer, we know you just announced some pretty cool AR glasses, and we also just talked about our
you did.
wireless accessibility toolkit, which you can use to like write code on the phone to push events to the glasses, and that's pretty cool too.
That's pretty good. You've worked closely with developers for years, and you've mentioned that the community is changing, our developers are changing, our audience is changing. What inspires you most about our community right now?
Yeah.
I think the change is scary, right? Like we've seen a lot of, I work on video games a lot, and the game industry outside of VR for all platforms, I think, is changing quite dramatically. Like even business plans that we would have thought were ironclad a couple of years ago now seem to be questionable. But at the same time, there's been this huge explosion of creativity coming from developers who are experimenting. Like if every business is risky, why not make something that is cool and new and interesting? And so we've seen, both on our platform and on I think many others, this just sort of huge interest in experimentation and innovation and like sort of new types of software that we would have never really even imagined in the past. And so while there is, a lot of uncertainty, it's kind of breeding a lot of creativity, and that's very exciting to me.
So lastly, let's turn the lens back on you. What are you most excited to see out of all the activations, out of all the stuff we're showing off this year? Where are you going next?
Well, I think you know I'm a big horror fan.
Oh, yeah.
Movies, video games, you name it, I'm into horror. We have a interactive Blumhouse, media activation here, which I have not seen yet, and so I'm very excited
Sorry,
about it.
did he say he's into horror?
Thank you for joining me up here. We're going to keep these insights in our pocket as we roll this party forward into the rest of the day. So up next, we'll hear from developers with their own stories of what they've built, and then we'll explore new places to build in together. So let's get started.
Did he say that he was into new horror? Because it sounded like you were saying he was into
Horror.
Okay, good.
Sorry, couldn't find my big power couple for breakfast.
I mean, either way, I'm not judging.
I'm into horror. Horror.
Well, he could have been Claude from medieval times, you know? Oh, they still use words like that, I guess.
Hi, everyone. We're excited to chat today about building worlds on Meta Horizon. My name is Eugene Margolis, a.k.a. Emorgul,
Oh, no,
and I've
it's
made worlds
Emorgulus.
like Samurai Tycoon,
Yeah.
Wild Wild Quest, my Element Battling series,
Yeah,
and
look,
of
it's
course,
the guy.
Eat Yourself, which I made with Nick's studio, Sawhorse.
That's amazing.
And I'm Nick Hill, co-founder and chief innovation officer at Sawhorse. We're a creative agency that makes branded
we like
content
Emorgul.
and
He's a good
games.
guy.
We've activated across lots of the leading UGC gaming platforms, and we most recently partnered with Eugene to create Yeet Yourself on
Neat
Worlds.
yourself.
And we
I
had
love
a lot
that
of fun
game.
doing it.
It's so much
So
fun.
let's get into it. Nick, what platforms have you worked on before, and why did you choose Meta Horizon?
Well, in the past, we've built on Roblox, Fortnite, Zepeto, Rec Room, and more. We wanted to build on Meta Horizon because we think it could grow to be the next big user-generated content gaming platform. We know that social gaming is booming and that Meta owns some of the biggest social technologies in the world already. So if they can connect their broader social audience with the gaming audience of Meta Horizon, then you could see it really taking off. And it's important for Sawhorse to be there if and when it does.
Absolutely. Meta Horizon was actually my first foray into coding and 3D design. My background is in privacy law and tech policy, but I've always loved making things, whether that's wood carving or painting or writing. And I started building in Meta Horizon simply because
Emorgul used to make Star Wars
magical.
worlds. I love
and
that
the
guy.
in-headset
He's so
building
cool.
experience was my favorite medium of creation
He did
that
like
I'd
a
ever known.
Tatooine world. It was
So
brilliant.
being able to see people enjoy things I've made is also just an incredible feeling, I think, for any creator.
He's got a really
and I
successful
really fell in love with it.
TikTok channel as well.
So for you, how did you decide what to build? Where do you get your inspiration from?
When I started building in Horizon, all of my ideas came from a place of pure personal wish fulfillment. I wasn't building for anyone but myself, so I just tried to make the most fun things I could as I was learning. And then I would, toss that into a world, and I ended up creating these constantly updating, fantastical playgrounds, which, surprise, ended up being a really great approach to player retention. And then watching players interact and really take to those spaces helped shape my building philosophy. How did Sawhorse go about
I think
choosing
Yeet Yourself is
For
one of
us,
those
we wanted to
amazing
make a
games
game
to
that
play after about
celebrates
6
meme
beers.
culture. So we took
Because-
eating to the next level inside of Meta Horizon.
They kind
we
of
wanted
just
the game to be
spam a
fun
jump button
and
over and over
successful,
again, and
obviously.
you just
We
kind
did
of
this
jump through
because
lots
working
of
with
dimensions,
experts like
and that's
you,
kind of cool.
who
thing.
really understand the
I like
community and the trends on these platforms, is often
So
key
if
to
I was
building
ever going to make a
successful
game,
experiences.
people keep trying to
So
make these
together,
really
we assembled a
complicated
team
games,
of passionate
and I
3D artists
think
and
these guys
devs,
nailed it.
and we
They're
started
like, right,
creating
you just make
collaboratively.
people sit still and just spam a button.
Yourself was a really nice
Just
expression
throw
of the
them into
type of
different
building that
dimensions.
I love to do.
What a
I
what
like
a
to
cool
start
idea.
with the mindset of, wouldn't it be cool if you could X, right? Fly around with rocket gloves, or pull a magic sword from a stone, or in the case of Yeet Yourself, just fling your body with abandon, and then you chase that spark of joy and try to never lose sight of it.
And for Yeet Yourself, we fully embrace the wackiness and joy of that initial idea at every step of the process, right?
Yeah, and then we discovered new things along the way too. One of the original ideas for Yeet Yourself was that as you fly, you'd have to avoid these obstacles, and then they'd smash apart if you hit them. And then as we play tested hitting those obstacles over and over, we realized this is really fun. And if smashing these feels so great, Why are we telling players to avoid them? So we followed the fun, and in the final game, you're actually trying to hit the obstacles, and your reward is resources for doing that. And so again, you have to identify what's actually fun about your game.
It's the big building at the end
and then just
stuck.
relentlessly drive players toward that experience.
That's right. And I'm curious to hear what worked for you in driving user acquisition and virality in your worlds in the past. It can be challenging on these platforms. For Yeet Yourself, we leveraged your native following, and we created a custom trailer to show off the game and get the community excited to play it. Meta also featured the game on Meta Horizon, and that helped with additional traffic as well, right?
Yeah, and it's nice to have that support. But also for Yeet and for my other games, I try to get players to make their own organic viral moments, and I create the circumstances where they can laugh together. And you can do that with physics-based mechanics, with broad interactivity, but the goal is to get that emergent social gameplay. So not only do I share and promote my own videos, but I find that my players share a ton of content from my worlds as well, and that, of course, helps them grow.
That is a great strategy, because it can be really challenging to stand out. There are no on-platform ad products yet on Meta Horizon, so it really comes down to fun. If a game is truly fun, players will find it, tell their friends about it, and you can kind of get that snowball effect going, right?
Right. I mean, I absolutely rely on word of mouth as much as other forms of advertising. Meta Horizon is such a social platform that players telling their friends, come on, you got to play this, makes a huge impact. And players do tend to travel as groups, so I also try to understand where the drop-off points in my game are. When and where is a player most likely to stop playing and look for the next thing. And at those points, I can place doors to my other games so they have immediate options and stay within my world ecosystem.
So beyond user acquisition, how do you grow your audience on and off Meta technologies? And what is your strategy for getting people to come back?
You know, for me, building an audience is about creating experiences that consistently make players feel wonderful. And my favorite thing people have said to me in my worlds is, when I'm here, I feel like a superhero. And that's a very powerful emotion. And if you can deliver on that promise of wish fulfillment, the players will keep coming back, and they'll probably bring their friends.
So growing an audience is really important. And once a game is live, it's smart to monitor the performance of the game and listen to the player base. You can see what they like and what they don't like and where those people are falling off. And then you can react to that feedback and make small improvements and tweaks to optimize your game to make sure that you're maximizing growth.
Totally. It's an ongoing process. Like, I made each of my element battling worlds one after the other. And each time I was able to see which mini games people played the most, which items they used, or which arenas saw the most action. And then I would lean into those elements with each successive world. So they just kept getting better and better and better. Meta Horizon lets you iterate and update very quickly, so creators can really take advantage of that.
With content that your player base actually wants. So it's important to listen to your community because they're a huge resource.
I swear, if E-Morgul ever got a license from Disney to do it, I'd love him to bring back all the actual Star Wars world that he had.
Shared identity among the players, and it's expanded the experience way beyond to what I could put there alone. And so I have players who hold their own training sessions, who host their own tournaments, which has just been awesome to see. It's also incredibly useful to get direct feedback from the people who care the most about your game. And if you're responsive to that, you give players a sense of agency and investment in this thing that they love, which is another great driver of retention. As for getting people to come back, I find that players return for the same but more. And that means, yes, regular updates with new content. And these can be cosmetic, like Yeetcraft parts or new swords for Samurai Tycoon. But actually, I found that introducing new areas or new mechanics, basically new ways to play the same game, drive engagement or re-engagement much more reliably than just
I'm doing
a
live stream at the moment, so anything in this vicinity is being thought.
New powers, new features,
Make yourself
changing
comfortable.
landscapes, all of which contributes to the lore and keeps the experience fresh. I have a question for you. Beyond our collaboration, how do you find
So I'm doing a live stream right now, so anything said within my vicinity can be heard and is being
gaming
broadcast.
space in general.
Just coming in.
I've always found that having a team of passionate experts across all disciplines and then putting them together
I'm definitely
yields
not
the
allowed to
best
say that,
results.
Dice. There's a security
And I like finding
blanket.
people
I'm
who
probably
love
gonna
what they
just
do
pull your
and
mic
don't
for an
just
apple
treat
down.
it like another
There you
job
go.
or another
We'll
project.
talk to you after.
And so at Sawhorse, we align ourselves with the best creators in the space, and collectively push ourselves to make the best games and experiences that we can. And then we take the learnings from each one of those projects and apply it to the next one.
Yeah, that's awesome. Historically, I just built everything myself. And with the move to more advanced tools on Meta Horizon, like custom model import, mobile UIs, TypeScript programming, the worlds I want to build are getting bigger and more technical than I can alone. And so, for Yeet Yourself, this great studio, Habit XR, put me in touch with Sawhorse, as well as an extremely talented dev, Richard Lee. And there was so much to Yeet Yourself that I could not have done by myself. And it was amazing to feel like I didn't have to hold back based on my own limitations. So it was a really fun collaboration. Nick, what is next for you and Sawhorse? What are you excited about?
Well, I'm just bullish on Meta Horizon in general. It's exciting to be building on a platform that is rapidly evolving and growing. And really, it's still in the early days. I would encourage devs and studios to build here and experiment while there's so much enthusiasm right now. And so, do you have anything new that's upcoming that you're excited about?
So much, yes. So we have Element Battling League Season 3 about to drop. That's very exciting. We have some major updates coming out for Yeet Yourself, as you know. And I just remastered a game that I built with old Horizon tools, with the more advanced tools. It's called Thieves and Warlocks, and it looks and plays better than ever. But I think the thing I'm most excited about is that I just came out with my first major mobile-only game on Horizon called Goblin Wrangler. And not only am I really proud of it, I can't stop playing it myself. So I think that's a pretty good sign. And I hope people check that out. It's called Goblin Wrangler, and it's awesomely fun.
So there's so many great things to look forward to, and I can't wait to check it all out.
Yeah, same. And this has been an awesome chat. And thanks for everyone for watching. We can't wait to see what you build in Meta Horizon.
I think. All right. This has been so good so far.
As someone who's been gaming since the 80s, I've seen the industry's ups and downs, twists and turns. Somehow it never quite winds up where you expect. I started my own gaming career more than 2 decades ago as a tester on a little game called Madden NFL. In the years since, I've worked at companies from Xbox and Take-Two to Capcom and Midway Home Entertainment, launching console classics both old and new, producing projects with simply massive budgets and sometimes the ambition to match, or those with barely 2 rupees to rub together. But whether it was Devil May Cry's, Mortal Kombat's, or Outer Worlds, I've always gravitated towards smaller, more independent teams and the experiences only those teams can deliver. What first drew me into the emerging tech space of VR is what still keeps me here. I want my holodeck. And we don't get there without innovating on the hardware and the software. I can tell you as a former EP, now head of games portfolio at Oculus Publishing, what animates me is finding new ways to empower my teams and our partners to invent the next generation of games, apps, and experiences with us. Because again, I want that holodeck. My name is Sinead Terry Bryant, and thank you for joining us for MetaConnect 2025.
We all
There's
want the
been an
holodeck.
explosion of creativity since we last connected. And the next great thing is going to come from people like you, all around the world. Are you ready? Let's walk through the different types of experiences available through our platform. First, let's look at apps and worlds on Meta Horizon. Then we'll talk AI glasses and AI-powered apps. So what is Meta Horizon? Meta Horizon is a social platform that's optimized for the metaverse, including apps, tools, and services. Everything you need to help people connect. This includes Meta Horizon OS, which powers our
every
Meta
time I
Quest
do like
VR
an
headsets,
autocue type
and the
trainer,
Meta Horizon mobile app. For me, Meta Horizon is about presence, social, and meaning.
The intro
Let me walk
to
you
most
through
of
what
my
I
recent
mean.
videos now. I
First
did
up,
do an
presence.
autocue on that one.
It starts here.
But I swear,
Presence is how we describe the sense of being transported in VR. Whether it's to Machu Picchu
usually
or
when I do
vampire
any
Venice,
speech on here, I did a
users will
2-hour
feel as though they
stream once
stepped out of the
completely
rooms and
unrehearsed.
into their wildest
It went well.
imaginations.
I didn't have to cut
These
more than
digital
about 5 minutes
experiences
of
on
it.
Meta
I was
Horizon
pretty
are
pleased
an
with that.
extension of their
But,
world, and users can be a part of those experiences
You
rather
can
than
always
just
tell when
looking at
people
them
are
on
reading
a
off
screen.
autocues.
From VR to mobile, presence connects users through embodiment and interactions with the spaces, places, people, and things around them.
So yeah.
Next up, social. Our virtual presence unlocks a new level of social connection. Experiences on Horizon can bridge physical and emotional gaps,
So tired,
bringing
it's
people together
ridiculous.
to do somewhat impossible things like play golf on Mars, or be almost impossible places, like attending a concert without leaving your living room. The nearly impossible awaits. And lastly, meaning. Together with presence and social, experiences are experienced. Why just watch a moment when you can be a part of it? Meta Horizon empowers you to take your creative vision to the next level with tools, tech, and support so that you can deliver on more profound and meaning-filled moments. So what do apps look like on Meta Horizon? Well, for now, there are 3 main categories to consider. There are immersive apps, mixed reality apps, and panel apps. Meta Horizon apps can support a wide variety of use cases and genres, such as gaming, entertainment, fitness, or productivity. They can be used by solo users or social users, for fun or for GSD, getting stuff done. Immersive apps use the power of presence to transport users into new VR environments, as real or as virtual as you desire. Users can step directly into your worlds, your stories, no matter where they are. There's power in presence, so think about how you want to use it. And while we're talking immersive, one of my favorite recent releases is Ghost Town by the folks at Fireproof Games. Imagine, you're a ghost hunter named Edith, exercising your way through the city's restless spirits.
Promise I haven't been able to buy
but your brother
anything
suddenly
on
goes missing.
the
And the stakes
Metaquest
become
store
deeply
for a while.
personal. And the puzzles are ones that only you
I
can
don't know what
unravel.
happened.
Smartly designed and painstakingly crafted,
It won't
this
let me use my
narrative-heavy
wallet to
game
buy
will
anything, which is
immerse you
annoying.
in a
I
web
can't
of
even spend the
supernatural
points that are
mystery and
accrued,
intrigue,
which is
and, well, I won't spoil the ending.
Crazy. But
and
yeah.
for scaredy cats like
I'd
me,
love to be able to buy
this one has
I don't know what
zero
happened. I
jump
think I
scares,
spent
so
too
you
much
can
on
get your
clothing
horror
when they
fix
used
without
Saratoga
jumping out of
clothing.
your skin and/or headset.
I know a
Ghost
few
Town
other
is
people
available on
did
the
the same, and
MetaQuest
they've all
store
tripped
now,
the same
so
wow.
go and grab it.
Thing.
Mixed reality apps give you the ability to redefine reality.
I'd love to grab it. I can't
You can
spend
take
any
a user's
money.
own
I'm so
room
sorry.
and reinvent it around them. It's more than merely
Also, if
augmenting.
Meta
You can
support are watching
place a
this,
virtual
please,
plant on a
please sort
real-world
that problem
table.
out.
You can
7 months
watch
I haven't
enemies
been able to
spawn
buy
from a
anything
hole
on
they just
the
blew in your
Quest.
living room wall.
And I'm not
or
alone.
you can peer into outer space through the portal of a starship that was your
All right,
bedroom
I'll shut up
window
then.
just moments ago. The power of mixed reality is
Oh,
the
yeah.
power to make the familiar fantastical.
Well,
and that's
don't
just what
trip
I
over
did,
the,
transforming my guest room into a
don't
test
trip over the
room
doodah.
of secret agenting skills.
Come on, mate.
After 30 minutes of ducking, dodging, and dancing my way through wall-to-wall lasers, I definitely think I was worthy of 00 status. That's Laser Dance. Transform your room into a dastardly den of dangerous death rays. Laser Dance is releasing soon, so keep your
That's a
eyes
lot
and
of
ears open
Ds.
and maybe do some stretches first, okay? Panel apps keep your users connected with their favorite experiences as they browse, watch, and multitask in mixed reality. Be part of their perfect workspace, their personal theater, or their augmented home. Developers can bring their existing Android
Cool.
apps to Meta Horizon and consider adding unique features to give your audience a one-of-a-kind spatial experience. And speaking of multitasking, have you ever been immersed in your favorite VR game and heard the all-too-familiar ping of a new text or notification? Check out
Oh,
Spatial
I've
Phone
heard about
Mirror
this
and
app.
Control. Even if you're fully immersed in a game like Ghost
Wow,
Town,
they're featuring
you can
this.
check recent text
I couldn't go to
notifications
work, I got
all in a
Ross.
mirror of your phone.
I
You're
did
fully
buy it. Oh no. Oh, it's died, guys. Hang on. I think that's me. Let me just, I'm gonna do my Aladdin thing. Ready? Okay, let me just hit the reload button here. Let's see what happens.
mixed reality and panel apps.
Sorry about this.
But rules are meant to be broken. So any and all of these categories can be mixed, remixed, or outright rewritten. The only limits are your imagination because, again, holodecks. Oh, and before I forget, Meta Horizon apps support the most common business models, from free-to-play or paid to in-app purchases or subscriptions. Build an app for yourself and your local community, or build a global business, or build a holodeck. You get me. In addition to apps, consider worlds. These immersive experiences can be instantly distributed across mobile and VR. With Meta's $50 million creator fund, you can pocket monthly bonuses, sell digital goods, win cash prizes, and boost income with extra mobile incentives. So one of my favorite worlds is Bobber Bay Fishing. I may not look like it, but I'm a sucker for a good fishing game. And again, it's playable in both mobile and VR, which means I can play at home or I can play on the go. And funny enough, whenever I go fishing, I always seem to catch a poisonous pufferfish, just like real life. Now, let's switch gears to AI. Not only are we seeing AI push the boundaries of what's possible in Meta Horizon, but you can also check out new AI native experiences enabled by glasses. With the Meta Wearables Device Access Toolkit, you can now access the sensors on our AI glasses to build integrations with your mobile apps. Stay tuned to Meta Connect to learn more about how to get started with the toolkit in upcoming sessions. Finally, I want to speak to what makes Meta unique and why you can confidently choose us as your development platform or development partner. First, innovation. We are pushing the boundaries of experience. We want to give you cutting-edge tools that you need to transform how people connect and feel present. Second, commitment. We have years of leadership, investment, and deep devotion to the success of these industries and the developer and creator economies. Third, reach. We're bringing opportunity and access to as many people in the world as possible. With Meta, you can reach a large and ever-growing audience to have the biggest impact. And finally, choice. We want to meet you where you are. You should be able to use your favorite and familiar tools to build, test, iterate, and publish experiences with Meta. But don't just take my word for it. One of our closest partners, Vertigo Games, had this to say. With Meta, we're able to create best-in-class VR experiences. Their developer and consumer focus and their commitment to inventive tools and tech have been invaluable in helping Vertigo Games deliver the highest quality content to players. From Meta Horizon with apps and worlds to AI with glasses and more, there are as many ways to create with Meta as there are ideas to create. So let this be your call to action and your call to greatness. Are you ready to start brainstorming and exploring, experimenting and inventing? Make something cool.
Let's do it.
And I can't wait to see you again when next we connect. Thank you and have a great show.
I feel the change within. I think I'll transform again.
Yeah, behave.
Well then,
Quiet. Shut up. Don't talk.
I love how each one of those stories shows how imagination, persistence, and the right tools can change lives. And we're just scratching the surface of what developers are creating. The tools and platforms we have been building underpin the creation of so much more than just gaming. Joining me now is Andre Schmidt from Be My Eyes, a team reimagining accessibility with technology. And we've managed to get a hold of a clip. Let's check out a quick video about Be My Eyes.
Hey Meta, call a volunteer with Be My Eyes.
Calling a volunteer. Hey there, how can I help?
Hi, I just got a new record player,
Hey
and
there.
I wanted to see if you could help me figure out which of these buttons turns it on.
Absolutely, I think it's the one on the bottom. Try that.
This one here?
Yeah, that's it.
Perfect, thank you.
Andre, for those new to your work, can you give
this is
me
Yumi
the
Device.
nickel
Who
tour
uses
of what Be
records
My
in-
Eyes is all about?
Yeah, sure. Be My Eyes is a global platform connecting blind or low vision users with sighted volunteers all around the globe. That allows the sighted volunteers to see either through the phone camera or through the Meta AI glasses, depending on what you're using. And that allows the volunteer to help out with various tasks such as reading the expiry date on a milk or finding lost items or adjusting a thermostat. I mean, it can really be anything.
Nice. I mean, it's a really clean solution for something that at the end of the day is so powerful. Was there a moment when you first realized the impact that Be My Eyes was having? Like when it really hit you that this service was changing people's day-to-day lives?
Yeah, I would say there have been like several of these moments, but a more recent one was a dad writing us that for the first time ever, he was able to read picture books for his kids and be like probably interact with them. He was using the Ray-Ban Meta glasses to call out a volunteer and instruct the volunteer to interpret the pictures in the picture book so that he could relay that to his kids and therefore be like probably engaged with them. I think that really hit me because I'm a dad myself and I also do read picture books for my kids. And it was just something I've taken like totally for granted until hearing his story.
How did you read a picture
and it
book
really
with
tells
made of
me
pictures?
that it's not just
Of its
software that
question?
we are making. It's really something with huge social impact and something that motivates me and the rest of the Be My Eyes team every day.
I love that. I mean, your work connects people in such a human way. You've probably had one or two of these experiences by now, but is there a story or an experience that made you think, like, this is it? This is why we do this?
Yeah, again, there have been like multiple. Another example is, for instance, like reading a pregnancy test has usually been something that required you to involve maybe people you know already, instead of sharing that at the right moment that you feel comfortable doing. So with Be My Eyes, there are stories where women would call a volunteer and have them check the test, and then they can share it whenever they want to, and therefore be more independent, so to say.
Fantastic. That's beautifully said. That's a great use for something that is so powerful. So thank you, Andre.
Thank you.
I mean, what you're building is it's an inspiring reminder that the same features that bring the fun can also bring life-changing support.
Yeah.
All right. Keep it up.
Thank you.
So now let's step outside to Oakley Meta Park, where my co-host Dilmer has more to share.
Thanks, Kimberly. I am in the skate ramp right now where innovation and style collide. I am wearing the Meta Ray-Ban AI glasses, which are packed with upgrades, but there's a lot more that I want you to see. And for that, let's roll the tape. Meta Connect 2025 is alive with ideas shaping where technology meets creativity. Wearables are becoming smarter, blending seamlessly into daily life. Worlds on Meta Horizon are expanding fast, powered by creators and communities building bigger than ever. VR is pushing immersion further from full gameplay to mixed reality that connects us in new ways. This is where the future takes shape. We'll keep exploring and discovering new areas today throughout the spaces right here. But before that, we wanted to give you the lay of the land. For that, let's get back to Kimberly.
Thanks, Dilmer. Up next, we'll get the lay of the land, starting with the tools that set developers up for success and the strategies that help new ideas get discovered and grow.
A few years ago, I decided to get in better shape by doing some trail running. I went to my local REI and asked about running shoes. I was led to a wall with like 300 running shoes on display. I just stood there dumbfounded, not knowing which shoe to pick. Fortunately, the helpful staff of REI was able to give me a little bit of info, and from that I was able to choose the right pair of shoes for me. As a developer, you may be stuck in this paradox of choice, where you have an idea for a game or an app, but are confused by all the options and development tools available for you. Today, like my REI friends did for me, I'd like to give you some info to guide you in choosing the right developer path for creating your mobile, VR, or glasses experiences so that you can avoid the paradox of choice. In this presentation, we will start out talking about the VR audience and how it is changing. Then we will explore the developer paths for mobile, VR, and AI glasses that you can use to reach that audience. To build a successful app, the first thing you will need to understand is your audience. We are seeing some shifts in the VR audience that we want you to be aware of. Traditionally, the VR audience has been driven by hardcore gamers and VR early adopters. While we are still seeing growth in this traditional audience, more recently, we have seen much more growth in teens and young adults. We are also seeing an expansion from those early adopters to the more mainstream users as the product and use cases mature. Now, the information I'm giving you today is based on the VR audience as the wearable apps aren't yet launched, but we expect those wearable apps to be much more like the mainstream users that we'll discuss today. Teens and young adults are shaping how immersive platforms evolve. They're spending more time in these environments, and they're coming with a different set of expectations. They're looking for lightweight, fun, creative experiences that reflect how they already interact on mobile. They are also much more likely to spend their time in multiplayer, social games than in single-player premium experiences. With this shift to teens and young adults, we also see much more participation in free-to-play models versus the premium models. It's not just teens and young adults. Mainstream consumers are increasingly using mobile, VR, and wearables as part of their daily routines. This audience isn't just early adopters anymore. Media consumption is one of the primary use cases for wearables. I mean, who hasn't listened to their favorite podcast wearing Ray-Ban Meta glasses? But media consumption in general has seen very strong growth in MetaQuest headsets as well. Whether it's watching sports highlights or your favorite movie, the fully immersive media watching experience is really something to enjoy. We're also seeing a behavior change from experimentation to habit. If you get used to the large screens with remote desktop or watching movies on a virtual large screen, you tend to return to that experience. Work out in one of the many fitness apps, and your gym just looks a little boring after that. So, how do you decide where to start? Let's presume you have an idea for an app that you want to develop. Can you take advantage of any of the trends that we just mentioned? Now, these changes aren't absolutely required, but it would be better if you had a tailwind to drive your app if you can make the changes. Think, for instance, does your app appeal to teens and young adults? Could you add social? What about multiplayer? Could you maybe take advantage of the free-to-play model instead of the premium content model? Could you get to the market quicker by simplifying your game and developing it as a world in Meta Horizon and targeting mobile first? Maybe you could leverage that habit-forming behavior that we mentioned by introducing game elements like daily challenges. We also have a variety of devices that you could target for fully immersive experiences with MetaQuest, or even lighter experiences for AI glasses. This all depends on the app and who you want to reach. Finally, you need to understand the build path options. We have several different build paths based on the type of app that you want to build and your target device. Let's go into those in a little more detail. Let's talk first about mobile and VR development. I'll pick up the wearable development path on the next slide. Now, whether you're building for Meta Horizon OS for MetaQuest devices, there are 4 main development paths. Let's start with our no-code or low-code option to create engaging worlds in Meta Horizon that can be played on mobile or in headset. This is the best path for creators building social experience that want to get started quickly and build something rapidly. Creating in worlds allows you to make worlds available on mobile and web, as well as VR. This enables users to access worlds from any device and, as a result, can unlock a broader reach for your published worlds. Now, it's easy to get started, and you can even create your first game totally within the headset. For a slightly more sophisticated environment, there are also desktop editors available for worlds. Next, we have the traditional game developers building with game engines. Most of our developers in this segment use either Unity or Unreal. But Meta is also a strong supporter of OpenXR, and it is the base for all of our game engine integrations. It enables cross-platform development across VR devices. Game engines allow developers to build a full spectrum of immersive contents, from building a simple casual game to AAA games that push the realism and performance to the max. Also, last year at Connect, we opened our platform to mobile developers. From media to utilities to productivity, apps are playing a larger role in our content ecosystem. If you're a mobile dev, you can easily port your existing mobile app to MetaQuest, enabling users to utilize your experience as a panel
I haven't seen the
while
itinerary for the
multitasking
stream,
with other
actually.
things.
This is a lot longer than
This
the one
is a
from
lightweight
yesterday.
process that some devs have completed
this is also
in as
actually the
few as a
first
few
time-
days, from port all the way to publish.
First time they've
There are
actually
many
streamed
capabilities
the
that are
day 2
unique to
stuff.
VR, like creating spatial
but I think it's
experiences,
because
mixing physical and
day
virtual
one
objects,
step in previous years
and creating truly
has been
immersive content. Mobile devs can now
Zuckerberg bars
extend
and
their
then
existing mobile experiences and spatialize it for
many
MetaQuest
sort of experts
using Meta
afterwards,
Spatial
but
SDK.
I think by splitting into 2 days,
This
that's
framework
actually
enables Android devs to quickly develop spatial experiences for MetaQuest, leveraging their existing Android skills.
You're not here?
Finally, we have web development. For web devs who want to build immersive experiences, we fully support WebXR. WebXR is one of the best ways to build across devices, and we continue to see the web community produce innovative XR experiences. WebXR experiences can now be shipped to the Meta Horizon store, opening up another distribution channel for our web devs on MetaQuest. In order to have a vibrant and diverse ecosystem of content, we need to make our platform accessible to all developers. These 4 build paths give all builders real options to create experiences for Meta Horizon OS.
How is everyone at the...
We're taking that a step further now using AI. There are many new AI features that we are announcing at Connect across these build paths that will accelerate your development on Horizon OS. Whether you want to go deep or just test the waters, there is a build path for you.
Right now.
Now,
just
I know you love your AR glasses,
a lot
but
of
as
our
developers,
crew couldn't actually
I
get
also know you're
into
thinking about
the new
what I could do if it were
streaming
easy to
theatre
develop
in
mobile
Horizons,
app
'cause it's still
features
rolling out.
that access the sensors on those glasses.
So
We are
worked
announcing
out
the
we could
release of
just
Meta
stream it in
Wearables
here
Device
instead.
Access
So
Toolkit in developer preview. This
very
new
nice.
toolkit will allow you to build integrations
Means we
with
can
your
all be
AI
together.
glasses for your mobile apps. Using this SDK, you can build integrations that access the camera, the mic, and the speakers. Maybe you want to stream video from the cameras to capture a live event or to support remote assistance. Or you could use voice commands to control your app and trigger media capture. You can even provide audio feedback directly to the users or use tap gestures to send lifestyle events to your app and build behaviors around those events. Think of all the lifestyle, messaging, social, and productivity apps that could take advantage of the stylish, lightweight, Ray-Ban
very
Meta glasses that can be worn for extended periods of time on the go. For example, maybe you can build a live coach feature that allows your coach to see what you're seeing from your point of view, be it in the gym or out on the golf course, all the time giving you live feedback. Or perhaps you could build a feature into your app that live streams what you're seeing onto your platform of choice. The possibilities are endless in how you can leverage our eye-level camera and open-ear audio that would enable you to build a very distinctive on-the-go experience like never before. Of course, we expect developers to be creative and come up with even more use cases that we haven't even dreamed of.
So Noonan's just
The Meta
joined us
Wearable
across any of the
Device
channels.
Access Toolkit is
So we're currently
fast to
in
set up,
the
simple
White
to
Lotus
integrate,
over in
and it will be
Yasha.
available this year
Just all taking it
in
easy
developer
watching
preview.
Day 2.
Take your
of
mobile app,
the
make it hands-free,
Keynote.
heads up,
So,
and always
people
available.
on Instagram have a
If
slightly
you've been
limited
waiting for the
field of
right
view, I
moment
think,
to
to
explore
only get to
AI
see the middle.
glasses, this is
YouTube,
it.
Twitch.
If you would like to be notified when developer
every
preview
other
goes live
platform.
later this year,
You get to see
head
it
to
in full portrait.
developer.meta.com/wearables.
Perhaps all about doing a separate layout for
So,
Instably.
whether you're building full immersive experiences
Maybe
or
embodied.
lightweight extensions, whether you're coming from mobile or VR or wearables, Meta is giving you the tools
Shiny.
to start building today, and the audience is already here.
Cool.
Your job is to
QR
find the
code.
path that fits your product,
If you haven't seen that
test,
QR code, understand
launch,
that.
and grow.
There you go.
Because the
So if you
future of
scan that
computing
QR
isn't one
code,
of just
it'll,
the platform.
let's go.
It's a constellation of connected services. And you're in the right place to shape what comes next.
Another.
We hope you will get started today. Please go to developers.meta.com to learn more.
Hoorah! Okay. Discovery! Okay, this is interesting. So if you make a world on Horizons, how do you get noticed? It's a big, big topic.
Hi, I'm Monsi Marotra, product lead for the Meta Horizon store. In this session, I'll talk about the different content discovery surfaces
because
on
the
Meta
store-
Horizon
okay, maybe for
and how
worlds,
they
but
support the success of your app or world. Specifically, we'll get into 4 key topics. First, I'll share an overview of our discovery surfaces and vehicles. Next, I'll discuss our approach to our ranking models. Third, I'll explain how we balance ranking with manual curation. And last, we'll share tips on how to optimize your distribution strategy for an individual app in the world. Content discovery within the Meta Horizon ecosystem occurs across 3 major vehicles. The Horizon Feed,
Meta Connect.
the Horizon Store,
It's the developer
and
keynote. It's been really interesting so far.
Users
It's been running
interact
for
with
about
these
2
vehicles
hours.
across 3 surfaces. The first is in VR, when they put on their headset. The second is within the Horizon mobile app. And last is on the web at meta.com. As users interact with these different vehicles
Trixie's
across
running around
different
taking
surfaces,
photos. I love that.
their needs change, and as a result, we see different behaviors. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Going up.
The Horizon Feed is the default landing vehicle when users turn on their Meta Quest device. And it's also the default landing experience when they load the mobile app. It's designed to connect users with various content, including apps, games, worlds, events, and creator content, and give them a pulse on what's happening in the metaverse right now.
I'm just standing up to give my legs a bit of a rest.
Users that interact here are typically lower intent users who are simply looking to explore what's available in the metaverse.
Intent users.
Consider this a top-of-funnel vehicle. It doesn't drive conversion for sales or downloads as well as the store does, but it's very successful at increasing awareness of your content. Our search vehicle is accessible across the platform on all 3 surfaces and supports high, medium, and low intent users. So it's very dynamic and must support high intent users looking directly for specific apps that they already know the name of. And it also must support medium intent users who generally know the genre of apps they're interested in, and low intent users
lowering
who
this
want
TV
us
screen
to
a bit.
provide them with suggestions on what to look for.
It's the most neutral hype.
The Horizon Store is the primary commerce vehicle for the platform.
We're remaking this place
Its
anyway.
purpose is to help users find content they want to download or purchase. Unlike the feed, the store requires an extra click to visit. Therefore, users on the store have higher intent for content discovery. Placements on the store homepage are important for getting users into your funnel. And the product detail page is critical for generating purchase consideration
me in
and
Central
ultimately
yesterday,
conversion.
They said,
All
why does
3
Meta
of our
Connect mean so
distribution
much to all of
vehicles
us in
use
Horizon?
ranking
Why are we
models
getting so
to
excited
populate
about
the
it? And I think
content that
the
appears
answer is
within
quite
them.
simple. When you spent
But
years
it's
of
not
your life
the only
on
method we
a given
use.
platform, literally
We
living and
balance
breathing
both
it daily
ranking
and
and manual
making stuff
methods
on it,
for
building
programming.
communities, damn
We'll discuss
straight.
the manual programming in a few minutes.
To understand what
To explain
direction
ranking,
this platform is
it's
going in is
important to
very
understand
important.
how our systems work. The ranking models we use to
I've said it
program
for a
the
long time
feed,
that
store, and search surfaces
platforms survive and
prioritize
thrive,
a variety
and they can
of
only
signals.
survive and thrive
But
on the
most
community that
importantly,
exists
they
within them, and
prioritize.
obviously people paying the bills and keep the thing
1,
going, right?
how relevant is this content to a given user?
If you go back over the
And
years,
2,
like you look at
how
some of the
likely is it to
first-person
engage
worlds that
that
have been
user?
dropped on Horizons, and it's like,
So
well,
what does this mean? When we talk about relevance, we
Let's
consider
take, for
the surface
example,
itself
it was
and
a
what
wonderful
we know
thing
about
that
the
was,
user's intent on that surface.
Universal
For example,
Studios,
if a
Haunted
user is
Halloween
engaging
Nights,
with the
a
search
great
surface,
experience.
we know they may
I went there
more
like 3
likely
times.
wish
That's
to
not
see
user
something
retention.
that matches more closely with the exact
All
term
that's
they've
a 20-minute
entered versus the top
music gigs
performing
that I'm
content
sure
on the
cost a
platform.
lot would have put in.
Then we also consider a
I'm
user's
sure I
past
went to most of
behavior
them
and
once or
signals
twice, but
that they've
that's not
consented
what
to
keeps me coming
share
back.
about their
What
past
keeps
search
me coming
queries,
back
prior
is
downloads,
people like you,
and the length of time
people
that
like
they've
these
spent on the
guys, and
platform.
people like me.
The likelihood that a
we're all in
particular
here
piece of content
doing our thing.
will engage users is
That's-
important to
that is the
consider
platform.
because this ensures that our users see the content that's most likely
We're
to
doing
give
our
them a
thing.
positive experience. To measure this,
That's wonderful.
we look at a variety of factors, including
And
the
I
amount
loved
of
that in
time
last year
that
Measure
users are
obviously
spending with a particular piece of content,
spread that
either in a single
investment
session
wide
or
across
repeated
people.
number of sessions. It's important to us to balance the metrics
That was
we
a
use
good
to
move.
influence this, because we know that many apps offer very different types of experiences, some with longer durations than others, and some with fixed campaigns, while others are designed to be replayable in nature. If users repeatedly have a good experience on the platform, they're more likely to re-engage, which means the total addressable market for you, our developers and builders, will continue to grow. As we mentioned earlier, we use both ranking and manual curation to program the store, feed and search vehicles. We consult a variety of methods to identify content that qualifies for this manual promotion. You may see manually programmed content in the spotlight carousels on store and feed, in custom shelving and collections, and in manually developed store views. Our teams identify hand-selected content for manual programming based on the following factors: general quality and star rating, community engagement and press coverage, its general success in audience engagement, and uniqueness and novelty. Now that you know about the services
missing
that
as well
exist
from
for
the
content
newer
discovery on the Horizon platform,
generation
and
of
generally how
Horizon
they
Worlds,
work,
like if I was watching
let's
this
talk about
live
what this
in
means for you. The best way to
in the new
increase your
viewing
chance
areas, they
of
don't
being
have a
featured
selfie
in our
camera anymore.
curated programming
So
and
I'd
be
have to stream
upframe
it
on
from
our
my
distribution
eyes, which is not quite the
surfaces
same.
is to do the following.
I know.
First, focus on app quality, retention, and stickiness. If you don't think your app is ready for
Look
prime
at that.
time, consider launching in early access,
Stickiness.
allowing you to get
Make
feedback
your
from
app
users
super
and wait
sticky.
to launch fully after you've been able to refine and polish. Also consider frequent app updates and explore different engagement tools that can help you encourage higher retention and average session duration. Next, invest in a multi-channel
By the way,
marketing
if any of you
campaign
out there don't
that
have a
considers
VR
press
headset,
and
for
influencer
God's
coverage.
sakes, go and buy one. At
It's
this point, I
important
don't
to
think it's
note
even
that
optional.
Meta Horizon platform
Look
discovery
here.
surfaces
You
should not
can
be
literally-
the only
I've got a
method
Meta Quest
you use to
3S,
drive discovery
right?
of your content. If you can
It's
generate
amazing.
community buzz
And it's
in the
only
past
$300.
on
And even
social
if
channels and
$300 is
build a
not money,
healthy
you
community
can
on
buy
channels
them
like
on
Discord,
finance and even
make sure to
refurbish
link to your product detail
for about
page.
$50
Focus
off.
that hype towards
Like,
downloads and engagement with your content.
I haven't touched my Xbox in 2 years.
You can
Like,
also
my
use
Nintendo
app
Switch
ads
is just
to
gallery
launch
dust.
Facebook and Instagram
then-
ads to target Quest users directly and measure the results. Third, keep your marketing assets fresh. Regularly refresh your cover art, trailers, and other metadata.
To
This
check my battery
reduces
levels a
fatigue
sec.
from showing users
Finally,
the
we're doing
same
good.
marketing assets repeatedly and increases the likelihood that
Ah.
a user will click on the tile promoting your content and convert from your product detail page. Also, make sure to refresh your assets when you have a major app update to promote or if you're running a sale promotion.
Oh.
You can use the creative A/B
Ooh,
testing
2
tool
seconds.
to determine what imagery works
Or
best.
to just flick Windows a
Last,
sec. Sorry, I just had a
constantly
message
evaluate
incoming.
your pricing strategy.
Hold on.
Adjusting your price
I'm not seeing
can
where that
improve
message came from.
demand for your content, which will re-engage users
So
to
if
convert.
someone said something, I don't know.
If demand and engagement increases, then your distribution will
You
improve
switch
as
a
well.
sec. To what?
So, participate in platform sale events and consider
Sorry,
running
whoever just sent
your
me a
own
message, I
deals.
can't actually see it.
Keep in mind
Isn't
that
that crazy?
pricing hygiene
Try
is
sending
also
another
just a
one.
great thing to monitor across your app's lifecycle overall. You can evaluate this by using the Price A/B testing tool and price localization tools in the developer dashboard.
Madness.
We hope this helps you better understand content discovery on the Meta Horizon platform and how you can maximize your chance for greater visibility on our
Do
surfaces.
I have a message blocking
For
half
more
the screen
information
over?
about driving
See if
effective
we can
growth,
do this.
check out the Growth Insight series for expert insights and tips. Thank you for watching.
Wonderful. No, thank you for speaking. And honestly, a bit of an apology as well. Like, oh,
Thank you.
well, no worries. See you later, guys. Bit of an apology. I don't make
Well,
as
that
much
feeling when you're
content
playing a
in
game with
Horizon Worlds as I
friends,
used to.
you can just lean back in your
Honestly,
chair
I
and
haven't
laugh.
abandoned Horizon Worlds. I'm
When
still
you're
in there
playing
every
with a
day.
group you just
However,
met, and you delight at how well you play together,
VR
that
chat
warmth,
and its camera system is so
excitement,
amazing,
and
and I've been really
anticipation
getting to grips with
about
how
what
it
you'll do
works.
next.
And
That's
obviously
social
VR
comfort.
chat as a whole, I'm a little
Social
bit obsessed
comfort
with it at the
is
moment.
the new
but
differentiator
I
for
still
successful multiplayer
absolutely,
games.
I'm 100%.
It's the reason why
in
many of us set out to
Horizon
build
Worlds.
multiplayer games in the
We're at
first place.
50% at the moment, but
We
I'm
want to
learning things.
enable other
Give me a
people
break.
to have
It's
that
back
feeling.
shot we ever went.
It's also one of the best ways your game can stand out in an increasingly competitive market. So today, I want to share more about how you can build great
I'm a
games.
little bit worried because I
by
think some of the
prioritizing
guys are
social
actually running the place over in Horizon Worlds right
Hi.
now, and I haven't.
I'm
so
Blake
say, like,
Harper. I'm a trust strategist
here
in
watching
Reality Labs
this.
at Meta. I work with
Um,
developers, creators, and industry experts, and Meta's product teams to ensure that our builders across VR and mobile have the tools and knowledge they need to build for player trust. So, social
maybe I
comfort.
should jump
Let's get
across
into it.
there.
Most developers I talk to know that social comfort requires more than just your table stakes privacy and safety tools. Block, mute, and report are all important for your players to manage their social experiences,
But most developers would prefer a world in which their players didn't have to use those tools at all. Building for social comfort takes a mindset shift to one where you think of your game's social experience as layered rather than one size fits all. You have a default social layer where everyone can interact,
I like his top.
and then you'll have subsequent
his
social
t-shirt.
layers that
It's
enable
nice.
more unstructured interactions between loose ties, close ties, and friends.
Oh.
These layers enable your game to accommodate the broadest possible range of maturity levels, backgrounds, values, and play styles that you'll need to bring together in order to have a global hit. You'll also have a game that affords opportunity for
Alson loved
deeper
the
social
wall art
interactions
behind him.
to
That's
players
wonderful.
who
Look at
come
all
to your
that
game
greenness.
with existing friendships or build
Super
in-game
cool.
friendships. To get a feel for this, consider the game Sky, Children of the Light. In it, unconnected players appear like shadows to one another before they exchange gifts to reveal each other's
Ooh.
identities and open up a friendship tree to unlock more interactions.
That
Other
sounds
games,
cool. Why have I not
especially
heard of this game
embodied
before?
experiences in VR, use things like personal space bubbles that limit proximity between unconnected players. Similar progressive settings can be employed for voice chat or direct messaging.
I don't know if I'm up for dance like tonight. You know,
These layered
I've met-
systems require players to invest something in their relationship with
Someone
other
else
players
sit down,
before
shall we?
unlocking more open-ended interactions.
Ooh.
By requiring this investment,
Right.
players
You're-
are often less likely to use those
No.
open interactions
What
to
percent?
grief and troll.
Well,
Before diving into more details, it's important to remember that
Listen,
as
troll.
builders, you lead the community that forms around your game. Social comfort begins with clear expectations.
I think it's secure, isn't
Those
it?
can be set through your
Cool.
communications,
Sorry about that.
marketing, and through clearly displayed codes of conduct with examples of positive and negative behavior. These expectations should be upheld with rewards and, where appropriate, with sanctions. And transparency is key here. Explain to users how moderation works in your game. For example, through automated voice chat monitoring, community admins, review teams, or user reporting tools. Make it easy for players to report,
Oh, look.
and make sure your teams are set up to address reports fairly and promptly.
So,
Building multiplayer games today can be intimidating. Players have high expectations and lots of alternatives. Setting your game
Look at
apart
that.
from legacy
Sorry,
titles
guys, I'm
with
pulling
huge budgets
weird
and network
poses.
effects can feel daunting. You have to be smart about where you place your bets. Fortunately, because it's a relatively new concept in game development, social comfort is an area where there's still plenty of room to stand out. A little effort can go a long way here. Understanding these three core motivations should help you get started. Self-determination theory is a view about human motivation that can be used to explain why people play and return to some of the most popular games around. It seeks to explain human motivation in terms of intrinsic rather than extrinsic rewards. The three intrinsic rewards it uses to explain motivation are competence, autonomy, and relatedness. First, competence. This is the foundation for social comfort because players need to feel like they can actually succeed in your game. It's hard to play well with others if you feel like you can't play at all. A classic tactic to boost feelings of competence is skill-based matchmaking. Some games even bump players into lower tiers if they slip into a losing streak so that they're temporarily more likely to get a win. Other tactics include systems that enable players to practice their skills outside of competitive scenarios, for example, versus bots or targets or in timed courses. Some questions to ask yourself when evaluating how well your game enables competence include, are your controls easy to learn but hard to master? Is feedback on successful control use clear and consistent? Are multiple skill levels and abilities able to tailor the controls, gameplay modes, and accessibility settings to fit their needs? Have you communicated in a way that matches the reading level of the youngest age group most likely to access your game? And finally, you want to avoid dropping players into an open world with no structured guidance on affordances, controls, or HUD elements. When they lose a match, make sure you also give them something to do or short wait times before the next one. Moving on to autonomy. Autonomy is key to social comfort because players need to feel like they bring something unique to the table when they play with a group. They need to be able to make their own decisions, see the effects of those yield results that are unique to them, and feel valued for their decisions as they play. Clear autonomy levers include anything that enables players to leave their mark in your game. Most notably, character and ability customization, and environment creation or destruction dynamics. To evaluate your game for how well it enables players' autonomy, ask yourself questions like, are there multiple progression pathways so users can create a playstyle and history that's unique to them? Have you given players clear goals to pursue in open spaces while also supporting opportunities for off-script play? You'll also want to be wary of offering people too many extrinsic rewards for behavior that's originally intrinsically motivated. According to self-determination theory, this can undermine the intrinsic motivations you designed for in the first place. You should also be wary of presenting all the choices to your players up front. Let the possibilities emerge as they make it further along their progression tree.
Tiger? Because I don't
Finally,
think I can
avoid
hear you.
directionless, pure sandbox experiences.
Now, what I
Players
do
either
is I
won't
put
know what to
myself
do,
on mute so I
or
can just
they'll invent the
yak
game,
on
and
at
odds
this
are it'll be
dream
antisocial.
peoples without...
Okay, moving on to
okay,
the final
okay.
motivation, relatedness.
Ooh,
When people feel competent and autonomous, you've made them comfortable. But now you have to give them positive ways of relating to one another that enhance that comfort rather than spoil it. Games that enable players to realize their core motivation for relatedness do so while reducing the likelihood of spoiling it through toxicity. Often they do this by offering flexible social spaces for hangouts with different levels of interaction that are less open-ended and less risky between strangers. For example, trading, gifting, and voting instead of just open-ended voice chat. Where they do introduce chat, they typically ensure it's moderated, at least in public spaces. These games also avoid throwing people into unstructured social spaces with limited things to do. If you do this, players will create a thing to do, and chances are you won't like it. Off-script play and sandbox experiences are fun, but look closely and you'll see that in successful games, there's usually some design constraints that funnel players toward pro-social behavior. So, when thinking about how well your game enables relatedness, ask yourself, do players have ways to interact that unfold progressively? Can they curate smaller group interactions? And what kind of co-op mechanics do you offer?
It's quite
How
hardcore,
aesthetically
isn't it?
delightful is it to complete those? That's it for today. Well, there's a whole lot more that could be said about using self-determination theory to build socially comfortable games. Hopefully, this video helps you imagine what it might look like to get started. If you want to continue getting inspired, we've got a bunch of helpful resources where you can learn more. Thanks for your attention. I look forward to seeing what you build.
I feel the change within. I think I'll transform again.
I think my brain is reaching a sort of a tipping point with all this. And I'm close to sort of call it a day and just saying, well,
Been over 2 hours.
yeah.
Over 2 hours.
We've just stepped back to see the bigger
Yeah.
picture.
Should we
Where
jack
developers
it
are
in for the
headed
day
and how
and I'll
you're
just
putting
catch up
more-
on the stream
we're
another
putting more
time?
tools
Like,
for
there's
resources
only so
into
much
your
I can
hands.
take in one go.
Now,
My
let's
brain
shift
shut.
gears to take a look at
Yeah.
AI glasses. A new
That's what I'm
space
gonna do,
opening up
Yeah.
to reshape
All right.
how we move, play,
Okay.
and live.
All right,
But
I'm just gonna
first,
shut the streams down.
let's check
2
back in with
seconds.
Dilmer